Hello, everyone. Welcome. Everyone's in the wrong spot because we were having too much fun conversing.
Oh, no.
So,
Wait, who's DMing now?
it is now Jeremy.
Is it me?
Oh, let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go.
All
You
right,
are-
everyone.
You
So
are
first things
the
first,
one.
evil dogs running out of the snow. You can see inside of their rib cages. It's really gnarly.
I rolled a scratch.
I rolled a
Can I
scratch.
pet the dog?
Everyone roll to pet. I'm just gonna
Pretty much every one of us, I think, would roll to pet. And
What skill would we
creature.
use for pet? Would we just use psychology again?
Psychology for everything.
I feel
Yeah.
like isn't there an animal thing?
No. Not that
no.
I'm seeing. Maybe
Because you could be a
charm?
veterinarian or something, but you could add an additional skill.
Would it be natural
Yeah.
world?
Yeah, I think
Natural
world.
world. Okay, that
We'll do
makes sense.
natural
But would an
Yeah.
undead Resident Evil
All right,
dog be
let's see.
natural world?
Oh,
I fail.
I failed.
Both of you lose hands. You can choose which one.
Oh. Ben,
Whichever
Ben
one you
also
tried
failed.
to pet with.
Closest. Come on, I was like a 21 out of 10. Look at that.
Okay, you can
72
lose
out
half
of
the
10.
hand.
Okay,
I'll let
there.
you
How
lose
about a
half the
finger? Goshi?
No, it's you still failed by 10 or more. You lose half of the fingers at least.
Oh, all
Just
right, fine.
Snapped right off.
Still a good
Okay.
dog, though.
Anyways, reeling it
They
back
are wagging
in.
their tails after the treat you gave them.
Welcome to episode 6 of Project Morana. We are all in a weird mood, as you have probably can tell. But before we get into the episode, which we've been on this cliffhanger for, we got some stuff we got to do. Like, thank our sponsor today. Thank you, Roll20, for sponsoring today's episode. If you would like to utilize the cool character sheets, the amazing rolling stuff that we have done that auto does math for us, you too can have that. It also does cards. It does, you could make it like a board game. You could do all kinds of things with it. So you can just kind of pick and choose whatever works for you. Then the other thing that you can do is head on over to our merch shop at designbyhumans.com/shop/roll4it, where you can get yourself a mug, a cozy sweater. It is that season. If it wasn't so late, I would probably have a cup of coffee right now. That'd be nice. Reminder that we may do things and talk about things that may trigger you, and that is okay if you would like to step away. We understand this is a spoopy game. We have agreed to a lot of things. We're like, yes, traumatize us, Kelly. So we understand that not everybody wants that in their life, but we do. Please, more. We'd also like to thank today's supporter, Jackson Decay. Thank you, Jackson, for supporting today's episode. And if you would like to become a supporter just like Jackson, you can head on over to our Patreon and become a legend tier or above. And if you are a legend tier or above, you not only get to support an episode, but you get to play in a privately GM'd game, which this month I'm GMing a game, and it is going to affect our holiday spoopy season stuff in October. So, what shenanigans shall occur, we shall find out. And there will be all kinds of things coming up in the future. We also have a ton of other Patreon goodies, so there are a lot of different tiers that you can join. We have our character sheets up if you would like to see those. We should do updated character sheets actually, because we've got some level ups, so maybe that's something that you'll see soon for party tier. And Kelly is plotting some things. They have a map that you'll be able to see, and we may post updates to that map as the map grows. I'm trying to convince Kelly to share this relationship map they have. Yeah,
It would look like
do
an
your eyebrow
SCP.
Yeah, I can do that.
It would look like an SCP printout. Just so many like redacted sections. It would be like.
But
you'd
people
see
love
Lake
that.
Morana and then
We want
no
to see it.
Tell
Yeah.
Kelly how badly you want to see like a relationship map with a bunch of redacted stuff, because they're gonna try to guess like what would go in those spots. See, that's the fun part of it. And of course, we have a whole bunch of other Patreon goodies that are over there. So if you want to see those, go check them out. We also you can also become a Twitch sub right here on Twitch if you're watching us live. And you can use your Amazon Prime if you have one. And instead of giving the money to Jeff Bezos, you can give it to us. It's nice. And that gives you access to emotes as well as VODs in advance. And you can become a YouTube member where you can get some of those emotes as well. And whether you're a YouTube member, Twitch subscriber, or a Patreon supporter, you get access to a private Discord where you can continue to tell Kelly how badly you want to see your relationship map. And then also Papa Tim will be posting dice rolls and stuff like that, which is always exciting to see if Laura's really that lucky or not. And there are, of course, non-monetary ways to support us because we know not everyone can support us in a monetary way, and that's okay. Take care of you and your peoples first. You can watch us live right here on Twitch and make clips because you can only do that while we're live, which is weird, but that's the case. You can watch us over on YouTube, subscribe, like, and comment. We were reading through the comments earlier during our pre-show and really enjoying it. It was very sweet.
Yeah.
And also, we agree on the chase front. And Kelly's response to that was, if you like Chase, we need to have a chat. And of course, you can follow us on X, aka Twitter, and also on Facebook, and like, share, retweet, comment, all the places. Even if you don't have a lot of following, that doesn't matter. It's really about making the algorithms go whir and find us so that we can continue to tell wonderful, beautiful stories. And with that, I'm going to shut up and hand it over to our keeper, game master, person who's going to traumatize us. Go for it, Kelly.
Oh boy. All right. Better trigger up that creepy music.
Oh,
We're kicking it off with the creepy music.
Nope, it's too late.
Immediately scary.
To be fair, I did ask for it, so.
The date is Thursday, January 5th, 2023. The time is 1:14 p.m. Tilly's Inn sits in silence as the two parts of Laura's phone lay smashed on the stone floor. It was thrown with such force that the face separated and skid about a foot away from the body. Every other patron stares at your group as you sit in stunned silence. What you saw on the phone, the image of the grotesque plant growing along the opposite side of Laura's room wall, the pulsing red blisters that scattered the branches, and the shape of the body that the plant formed on the bed. That image caused your brains to spasm and your blood to chill. For a brief moment, you were struck with a fear that you could not understand. But the moment that phone smashed on the ground, the grip it had on you was loosed. You all feel yourselves disassociate for a while the wound in your mind heals over, leaving you with a gentle throb of warmth in your head. The memory of the image is not entirely lost, but the euphoria blurs the specifics, like recalling the face of a stranger you passed on the sidewalk. You all reconnect as you hear the voice of Tilly. Are you all right over here? What happened?
Laura, your phone.
yeah. Shit.
You see one of the other patrons sort of like rush up and sort of grab the other two pieces and pick it up, and a younger looking woman, still sort of in her heavier winter attire, comes over and just sort of puts it on the table and smiles sort of worriedly and returns to her table.
Hey, thank you.
Carl is just kind of staring at the broken glass.
Is there... Oh, I need my phone. Is there an electronics store here? Tilly?
Walt is
Is there
kind
an
of
Apple store?
No. We have a grocer if you need some apples. No, Walt is kind of our... I don't know if he could try to fix that, I guess. What happened?
I look at everybody else. Just kind of like one of those ways of like, did I just imagine? Did we all just experience that?
There was there was a photo. You had a picture on your phone, right?
Yeah. We were just looking at a picture. I guess
Is there a room next to the one that Laura's staying in?
You see Tilly's
the door.
face kind of go pale a bit.
There is a room. Tilly.
Yeah.
Could we see it?
Honestly, I'd prefer that you didn't. It's locked up anyways.
Why?
Why?
You see her kind of like start fiddling with her hands a little bit, and she's an older woman, but normally in the presence of like customers and sitting behind the bar, she carries herself very like youthfully, but you can see her sort of like begin to age a bit as she curls into herself. It's sort of sensitive. I had Jack lock it up after Daniel died.
Why? Why would you lock a room up? It's you running in. It's like one of those hotels that has a door between it, right?
Yeah. He passed in there.
Game Master, do we remember why the photo was taken in the first place, and like everything that Laura had experienced immediately preceding us looking at the photo? Like, do we have a general memory of that?
All the memory of leading up to the photo is there. It's just a vague memory of what the photo was, and a absence of fear now.
The photo was of the room.
You
Laura
went in
took
there?
the photo of the room.
How did you get in?
The door was open, and I didn't want to go inside, so I just reached my hand in with my phone and I took pictures. Don't you have your own room? How did your husband die in there?
I would prefer not to talk about this here.
Okay, then where
Tilly?
can we talk about this?
You can come
Tilly,
back
would
to
you
the
be
kitchen.
opposed to us going to the room? Would you be
I don't-
opposed? Would you be willing to take us to the room
I
so
don't.
we can look around in there?
Just come to the kitchen.
Carl will slowly get up and kind of be looking at their mom.
We don't really have anywhere else to go, so let's try and be kind.
And she sort of like, she begins to walk back to the bar, sort of stopping occasionally to wait for you to follow. And you can see that the patrons are now like whispering, trying to make it look like they're not paying attention to what's going on, being polite, but are definitely like the chatter has dissipated quite a bit in the dining area.
Can I roll to try and see if they had a specific? Because I'm really curious about, like, seeing this. Like, there may have been a moment where Nate completely forgot kind of what was happening, but now we're kind of like, I'm running through the events. Like, okay, mysterious room, scary stuff happening. Laura snapped pictures in the room. There was a body. There was a body in the photo, and it was moving. There was something moving around it, and that was. And so now I'm thinking, now it's like, we're not getting an explanation. Somebody died in there. We're being taken to another room. We're not being taken to the room. I would like to see if any of the people around are having like a response to this.
Give me a
Would it be psychology?
no.
Oh.
Spot hidden?
Give me a spot hidden. I was trying to think of.
There's also listen, which makes more sense for what it seems
if
like.
you're using your ears
Nate is
to
doing.
listen, but otherwise, if you're just trying to see if they have any given reaction.
I'm gonna do spot hidden.
All right.
So you're just trying to
let's-
look to see if they're doing anything, not listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, yeah, I'm just trying to check them out. Like, how do their postures appear.
Okay.
I'm better at that. 33 versus 35. Yes!
That was close.
Yes.
Close.
You recognize some of the telltale signs of pity and sympathy as some of the folk, when they hear Tilly commenting, those who are definitely not eavesdropping, seem to like shake their heads and sort of like bow their head in respect to her words. And then other people are sort of nodding and then just trying to go back to enjoying their food while these events are happening.
All right. I think Nate's gonna be sort of like less, and I don't think Nate's gonna be as tuned in with the conversation going forward, because now he's like, okay, peeps kind of know something's up. There's something weird about this. Nate's gonna be sitting doing some mental calculus all through the next conversation as he sort of follows off after the rest of the group.
Is everybody else following?
I will
Yeah.
go.
I'm
Yeah,
staying
I'll be-
kind of close to my mom, probably.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
You-
trail behind and pick up the phone pieces and just look at them like my lifeline is completely gone.
Yeah.
And like that sorrow
the
is hitting
screen
her.
is like completely smashed, and you can see the sort of tendons that connect the two pieces are just split and broken. And she sort of holds the swinging kitchen door open as you all file in.
Do I notice your disappointment? Do I notice Laura's disappointment?
I don't think she's hiding it well. Like it's very much the realization, like I hucked this, it is split. We're in a town where Walt is not going to be able to fix this. Like I know that much. And just kind of coming to the realization of I won't have a phone until I leave this place.
And I think if Carl notices that, Carl might kind of turn, because you said you're following us, and say, I could take that with me. Walt's supposed to be at this party that I'm going to.
I hold the screen part up so you can see like the wires kind of underneath. Honestly, that would be fine because I don't even know if this is salvageable. But if you, I'd like it to see if it, maybe he's magic. Maybe he can fix it. Look at the screen though.
I look at the screen.
It's shattered. None of the glass has like popped out or anything, but it is completely spiderwebbed, and just disconnected from the rest of the body.
I've seen people fix stuff before like that. And Carl will take it.
Well, this town has surprised us before.
And just carefully puts it in their pocket. Because,
And
I actually have big pockets.
you can add broken phone to your inventory.
All right.
And as you all enter the kitchen, it's a fairly nice stainless steel kitchen, not overly like Michelin star kitchen size, but definitely a resort town in quality of kitchen. And you can see part of some food already still cooking, and like half assembled salads and whatnot as you all sort of file in. And Tilly closes the swinging door behind her and just sort of looks up at all of you, and you can see again that sort of like age showing as she looks at you and says, I understand the curiosity. Honestly, I don't know how that door opened. Might have just been the wind or shifting building, but when Daniel got sick, we had to isolate him, and that was the room we used. And when he passed, I told Jack that I didn't want to have anything to do with it, and he took care of everything and boarded the door up. And
Is your husband still in there?
no, Jack took him to Samuel, and they cremated him, and He's been gone a few years now.
What do you mean isolated?
He got very sick.
What was he sick with?
She kind of looks over at you, Carl, and like turns her head and sort of frowns in a understanding, sympathetic way to you. It was cancer.
Carl looks like that hits different than probably others. But then continues. What kind?
Lung. Honestly, Murray's books were the only thing that he really held on for. I like to think.
Marie is staring off a million miles away. You can hear, in her mind, the audience can hear like the clinking of oxygen tanks, the beeping of medical equipment. Wow. And she doesn't hear the compliment that Tilly gives her as she thinks about Andy.
You didn't go in the room, you said?
Why would it matter if I went into the room or not? It's a room. Right? It's just a room?
I was just curious. I haven't seen it in a while. I was just curious if... I don't know.
Keeper, I have a question. Well, not even a question. I'm sort of zoning in and out of this conversation, and upon hearing that about like her concern about going into the room, I'd like to turn around because I'm sort of in the back of the group. I'd sort of turn around and look back out into the main area that we just came from. Are all of the people who were in there before still in there?
In the dining area?
Yeah, in the dining area.
Yeah, nobody's left. And everyone's sort of getting back to like their regular eating speed. Seems that the awkward moment has kind of passed.
If you don't want to go in there, that's okay. We could just go by ourselves and give you back the key.
I suppose there's no harm in that. I would ask, though, that I know I offered to have you stay here, but Riley and Nova and Oliver, their houses are ready for you, and maybe it's time that you all stayed there.
We, of course, wouldn't want to overstay our welcome. You've been so kind to us, Tilly.
And you as well. It's just hard.
Carl will, if Tilly allows, put their hand on Tilly's shoulder, and just
sort
says,
of leans into it a little bit, like feeling comforted,
and just says, it's they're never gonna be gone. He's always with you.
And I'll be with him eventually.
Well,
Carl just
Carl
nods.
and Tilly kind of share this moment. Can I study Tilly, like almost on this is my brain, a molecular level? Like I really want to like hone in on
Is she
this
a hag?
person. because
I'd also
she,
like to do this.
yeah, she like literally, because I mean, I'm trying to be sensitive to the topic, like, oh, her husband died, but put me in a room next to it. I had this horrific nightmare of something coming from that room. The picture, my phone shattered. So there's like a part of me of like, bite your tongue, but I also want to study Tilly to see if this is like a genuine thing.
Both of you roll psychology then.
I should have put
Right.
more in psychology. I put it all in psychoanalysis.
I have really high
Hey,
psychology.
If any of you,
Oh.
I will
67
remind
versus
you,
50.
you may spend luck 1-to-1 to try to shift that into success if you wish. We don't use the mechanics a lot in this here show,
Yeah.
so it's a lot for both of you. I know.
So if I spent, so you're saying if I spent 17 points, I could get my 67 down to a 50?
You could, yes.
Is there any way to rejuvenate luck?
It's a good
so.
question.
I'm pretty sure that there
All
is.
right. Luck once spent is always gone. If I'd have gotten closer, yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. I can't quite figure out what's going on, but I'm still very suspicious.
Laura,
Yeah.
are you good?
I think I get nervous because it's going to be 15 points for me to
Mm-hmm.
regen. But at this point, I'm going to use it because there's too much weird stuff happening here that I need to start figuring out some things. So I'm going to spend my luck and
And I do
drop
have the
it.
rules for it. Is at the end of each session, each character regains 1d4 luck points, and each character who experienced a bout of madness during the session regains an additional 1d4.
Oh.
You could also push the roll by mentioning how you would go about doing this in a less subtle way, possibly with more drawbacks. But we can just spend the luck if you wish.
So you mean like if I push the roll, what if I fail the push roll?
It gets worse.
That's what I was gonna. Okay. I'm trying to think because I'm trying to do this as subtly as possible, so that
All right.
I have the upper hand. However, I'm also tempted to push it. If I were to push it, Laura would just look at Tilly. I'm gonna go up into the room right now and turn around and start walking towards the stairs. Very like trying to get ahead of everybody so nobody could stop me, and just not looking back. I'm heading to my room.
And seeing
I
how
follow
she reacts.
directly behind.
Yeah. It's like one of
go
those
ahead.
things where I'm like, I'm going to the room and I just turn around and I just start beelining it and seeing what Tilly does.
Go ahead and re-roll your psychology then if you're pushing the roll.
Oh, it's worse. It's a 92
my
versus
God.
10.
Goodness.
I trip and blank die on the stairs.
I don't think
You-
Carl's gonna follow. Also, I'm
As
wrong
you
about
do-
the rules because we're playing 7th edition, so Shar had the updated rules.
As you
What,
do
we never replenish?
No, so this is a derailment. Sorry, Kelly. But at the end of each session, you roll 1d100, and if the roll is above your current luck score, you can add 1d10 points to your luck score. If the roll is equal to or less than the investigator's present luck score, no points are recovered.
All right.
Perfect. All right. So, you observe her for a bit as she's talking, and whether from the recent events or just her general demeanor, can't read anything. And almost as doubling down your bluff, you declare that you're going to go back to the room and step out. And as you do, with Nate following, Marie and Carl, you see almost like getting shot. This like wave of like trauma rush through Tilly, and you just see her like recoil and almost like start bawling
And Carl will
as Laura
lean
and
in
Nate
and
leave the room.
lean in and like Carl's gonna try to make sure Tilly feels comfortable. I mean, this is what Carl does for a living. So it's just kind of being a shoulder to cry on type of thing.
And Laura and Nate, you see a few evil eyes coming from the patrons who maybe overheard what you said and can now hear Tilly audibly weeping from the kitchen.
I'd like to stare them all down. I'm here fully I'm here as backup. I would like to give just big, gigantic, looming man just staring all of them down. Like, you got something to say about it? Though I won't say that, but that's definitely the message.
Yeah, roll me an intimidation.
My
Okay.
God,
My intimidate's actually pretty decent. Let's see how this goes.
you are very
I
big.
would think so. You are a
89
big-
versus 55.
Oh, no.
God.
You know what? You know what? This is a terrible idea.
Oh my god.
But I'd like to push it. I have a
I've
better than 50% chance.
I've
of succeeding.
unleashed something.
I'm engaging with the mechanics. Darn it!
Declare how you're gonna
Cthulhu's coming out.
double down and go ahead and re-roll.
I think as I'm walking, I'd like to put a hand, sort of protectively on Laura's shoulder, and then sort of do the neck crack, like from side to side as I'm looking at them all.
All
Is
right.
that enough of a push?
That's good.
All right.
That's much more actionable.
All right. 44 versus 55. Here we go. 44 versus 55.
You see upon your initial sort of glaring, a couple people just a little bit passive aggressively put their knives and forks down as if they're preparing to get up. But then you do the full defensive lineman and crack your neck, and there's a bit of tail between their legs behavior from the general crowd, who return back to their meal as if nothing happened.
I nod satisfied and just continue following Laura.
And as you ascend the stairs, the door to Laura's room is still open from when you left. But as you enter, again, that sort of initial shock of seeing yourself in the mirror of the wardrobe. But the door that leads to the adjacent room is still ajar. Sort of still lazily moving in the breathing of the wind.
As we cross the threshold, the jarring moment of seeing ourselves in the mirror, I do that thing like in a car where you stop short and someone puts their arm out, and I do that to Nate and just kind of stare and like pull my hand down at the door, kind of doing the breathing motion.
You look, Laura, the room is pitch black.
The room that the door leads to?
You remember it now being this dark. There's only a bit of the curtain that sort of covers the window is much darker than the one in your room, so the adjacent room itself is pretty dark.
I stare longingly into it. Did I make Tilly cry?
No. I think Tilly's dealing with some stuff that we maybe got caught up in. But no, you're not the one who made Tilly cry.
I take a step towards the door. Something's wrong, right? Like something is just not right.
It was moving.
Yes, you saw it. Did you see it?
Yes, it was moving. Something was shifting in it. We have to see.
She put me in a room next to where her husband died.
I just put both hands on Laura's shoulders and I say, I'm here. Whatever happens in that room, I'm here.
And then just like as you put your hands on Laura's shoulders, like she stands up a little straighter and kind of corrects that like slump of just everything. And then without a second thought, she just walks directly into the room.
Nice. As you cross the threshold, that immediate feeling of just chill washes over you as you wash yourself in the darkness. You smell just musky, unwashed, old fabric and the dust sort of lingering in the room from the breathing, and you stare as your eyes sort of adjust a bit to the darkness, seeing the dusty desk with the chair, the adjacent or the identical wardrobe, and the door that is sort of boarded over. You stand right next to the bed. And as you look over, you see not what was in the picture, not what was on your phone, but you see paper plastered on the wall. And trying to stare through the darkness, you can make out just what appear to be drawings on the paper. But it's too hard to see in the darkness.
I would like to reach into my pocket and I say, I've seen people use their phones as flashlights. I don't know. Can you look at mine and see if it can do that? And I take out my Nokia flip phone, which is specifically a Nokia 2780. And I just looked this up. I already said that it was a Nokia 2780 in a previous episode, but I just looked it up. It has both a flashlight and a camera. A 5 megapixel camera.
Sorry, I can see you saying something.
Me?
Yeah.
Nate has offered you a phone that has a flashlight.
Okay. I think I don't say anything and I just reach my hand out. It's pretty. So you came into the room with me then, Nate?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I see where Nate is in the room with me?
He's a lumbering silhouette in the doorway.
I feel my way over to kind of grab your phone. This thing is ancient. I open it, and just instinctively, because flip phones, Laura was alive for the whole transition of phones, just kind of like riding a bike, goes, oh yeah, you just have to do this, and then you go over here, and then you go to this setting, and then I don't know if you want me to roll for it, but I think Laura could probably find where the flash button is, because I think it used to be the flash, and you would just turn the flash on.
Yeah,
on these
I could definitely
well.
find it on my old phone for sure.
Okay.
Anything I can do without issue, I won't make your characters roll for. And as the light turns on, you're almost filled with this sense of disappointment.
Here. And I kind of just longingly look at the light and hand it over to Nate.
Okay. And I'd like to hold it out and sort of see what all the paper is, and maybe also look at the bed.
As you flash onto the wall, the paper seems to be haphazardly scattered, not in a grid or anything, just sort of plastered up on the wall. And each of them has a watercolor painting that sort of curls the paper up around where the spots were made. And from the depiction that you can make out, it looks similar to the vague recollection you have of the photo on the phone. Just this sprawling, branching, almost like a tree that extends up the wall inside of the inn, with these spots all over them. These patterned, intricate spots that line the bark of this tree.
I think Nate, without kind of realizing it, just starts moving forward towards it, like sort of automatically mesmerized by this thing and these weird spot patterns.
There's no... Did you see it in the picture? There's a body in here.
Yeah, there was... Is it still moving? Is
No.
it still moving, Keeper? Oh.
And Laura, you see Nate almost stumble and knock into the bed and almost fall onto it as he walks closer to the wall.
Just instinctively, I'm going to reach out and try to grab the back of Nate's jacket.
It's heavy, but you managed to stop him.
I'd like to reach up and just like, again, sort of mesmerized, try and touch one of these clusters of dots.
All right. As you touch it, it feels dry. The paper itself has been here for a while, and even as you grace one, it almost threatens to fall off the wall, but stays. But other than that, it seems to be paintings.
So, let me just get this straight. Her husband dies in here, and then didn't want anything to do with the room. Someone boards it up. What is this? An art project? Like, this isn't even like functioning art. Like, you couldn't have somebody stay in this room with this.
There were paintings. But they were moving. There was the body. It doesn't. I'd like to start just taking the stuff off the wall.
It's not hard. As you pull a page, you realize that there's a little push pin, an old rusted push pin that just rips the page as you start yanking them off. And the wall behind it seems to be intact, if not a little water damaged wood.
I'll take all of the papers and just sort of gather them up and just look at Laura and say, I don't understand. It was you saw it. It was there.
It was like moving. There was something in here. It wasn't just pictures. I wouldn't have thrown my phone for pictures. I'm going to stomp over to the bed, like kind of just like, ugh, and I'm going to just like start mashing my hands into the mattress.
As you do, dust starts to come out of it.
This is a fucking health hazard.
I just start waving as we had an issue like this in the locker room. Sometimes when you have water damage and you get mold, because there was the mold in the room, maybe it might not be good to breathe this in.
Well, I had that dream about mold.
Yeah, okay. We gotta go talk to Tilly again.
If you're gonna turn to leave, I'm gonna like grab the. Laura's just kind of angry now. Grab the bed a little bit and pull it, just like in a tantrum-y kind of way, and then maybe just kind of like and throw down the corner she's grabbed, and then walk over to the desk and just kind of like angrily open the drawers really quick and just make sure that we don't miss anything while we're in here.
All right. You yank it off, and again, as it lands, like dust sort of comes off of it, like hitting a old rug. And you move over to the desk, and the top is empty. There's an old lamp, older than the one in your room. And as you start opening drawers, Nate, the light catches on the mattress as it sort of settles on the ground, and the top sheet, the old top sheet, sort of slips a bit, and you see a stain on the mattress.
There's a stain. I'd like to walk over and pull the top sheet off, like just start to pull it off of the bed.
And as you do that, Laura, the drawer, as soon as you open it, seems empty, but a page drops from the inside and just falls into the drawer. A painting that almost looks like a waterfall. And Nate, as you pull the sheet off of the bed, the stain creates a shape of a human silhouette.
Laura, look!
What?
And I point the flashlight at the stain. Look!
This is like, gotta be breaking how many health codes? Is that how long was he in there to, like, and I'm gonna grab this art that I found in the drawer. I'm not gonna look at it yet. I'm just gonna grab it so I don't forget it and walk over to the bed. like Laura's watched a lot of true crime, probably has watched some Dateline. Can I make anything out of this stain? Like my immediate thought is that someone decayed here a little bit.
With the light, give me either a medicine or investigation.
I'm gonna go with investigation because I got a 1 in medicine.
Is there a help mechanic in this game? Is there a way I can help?
I don't.
What is
No.
investigate again? Is that psychoanalyze?
One sec. I thought there was actually an investigation. Give me a. Man, I
swear I saw an
exposing how-
investigate.
I did too. It's because I keep switching back from vampire in this that my brain. Just give me an intelligence then, and since I don't know how help works, I will let you. Nate can roll an intelligence as well, and we will up the success if he succeeds.
Oh, I failed bad. I got 100 versus 70.
I closely failed. 59 versus 50. If I spent luck on this, would I be able to succeed? Or would I be able to help her?
Because if you roll 100, you fumble.
Oh, no!
So I'm not going to tell you what happens, but even with Nate's help, it just appears to be a stain in the shape of a human.
You know what sucks about all of this?
Everything.
Just like, well, yeah, everything, but like, Tilly's not the only one with issues or trauma or loss in her life. Like, what is this? I'm sleeping next to this?
Did you lose somebody?
Not in this way, obviously. I don't know if it's like worse, but the people that I don't have still alive and breathing and walking around, but they're just not in my life anymore. Different kind of loss. But why do I need to take into account her feelings when I drag my ass here to feel like I'm being tormented?
It's not your fault. It's not your fault that you walked into this. You didn't know that you were walking into something like this. You just thought that... Well, you just thought that...
Nate, it's always my fault. If I don't fix it, it doesn't get fixed. It's not just this place, it's my whole life. Standing in a room with a body stain on a mattress in a town I shouldn't even be in. Instead, I should be making actual changes in my life. Instead, I'm doing this.
Was it your fault what happened between you and Marie?
I don't know what happened between me and Marie. What happened between all of us? Like, everything broke. Everything in college, I was finally feeling like I'm getting my feet on the ground, and then everything changed. And ever since that night, I have never been able to recover.
I know what you mean. And this whole time I think I've set the phone down so that the light is shining up and sort of underlighting both of our faces. And I say, ever since that night, you say the people you lost are still walking around. I feel like ever since what happened, I feel like I lost my life. Like there's a whole life that I don't have anymore. When the night that Liam called, I had a dream that I was seeing, that I was a different me. I was me, but it was like I had a different life. I had been a hockey player. I was successful. I was a sports analyst. They had me on shows. I lived in a nice apartment. I think I was in New York. I was somebody. I was who I should have been. And I never, ever since what happened, I've that guy, that Nate, it's like he died before he could ever exist. And for one night, I got to have him back. And you say that it's your fault. Well, I gotta think that it must have been my fault too. That guy never got to live.
I think I should have said this more in the past, but Nate, you were always somebody to me. You were a friend when I didn't have any. When everything happened, I lost all of you. And I know exactly what you mean. Everything that I thought my life was going to be, I've always been one step behind. I've always been chasing something that I can't reach. There's like a ghost in my head that will always grab me and pull me back and remind me if I smile that I shouldn't be smiling, or tell someone that I love them, that it's better left unsaid. We deserved better.
Yeah, we do. And I'm gonna pick up the phone, and as I'm moving it, and the light falls upon the piece of paper that Laura picked up, I'm just gonna freeze, and I'm gonna say, "Ghosts." And I point at it, and I say, "That painting, that waterfall, that's Benjamin's style."
What? You mean?
It's painted in Benjamin's style.
I grab it and I start flipping it over to see if there's like Benjamin's signature or anything on it.
No, but now that Nate's pointed it out, it's unmistakable.
Something's going on here, Laura. Something's not right.
I don't think we're supposed to be here, Nate.
No. And no matter what, I'm gonna make sure we get out. I'm gonna make sure that you all get out of here. And I put a hand on Laura and I say, let's go back to the others. See how they're faring.
Meanwhile, back in the kitchen, Tilly has all but receded into herself, just now silently weeping as you sort of comfort her, Carl.
I'm sorry. She's just emotional right now.
I knew I shouldn't have just tried to cover it. I should have dealt with it, but it just wasn't the right time. And then I didn't have to deal with it anymore.
Dealt with what?
Losing him. I just covered it up, and it was out of mind, and I forgot that I was supposed to mourn.
Yeah. I know what
I
that's
really
like.
need you all to leave. I can't. I'm sorry. It's not your fault, but you're just. This picks at a wound that I never let heal.
I may be hypocritical because I don't think I've really healed from what happened.
I know you. I know you're.
You do have to face it eventually.
Yeah. And now your friends are, I don't know, dealing with it for me. I did with the storm and the meeting and everything going on. I just thought I didn't think that this would come up.
It's
Riley,
never really gone.
you keep saying that. It doesn't help. That's just platitudes. It doesn't. He's dead. He's gone. Sorry. Just whatever helps you is great, but he is gone.
Yeah.
You begin to hear food sizzling as it burns on the grill.
I'll move to the kitchen side of this area and sort of try and salvage what I can of Tilly's hard work here and make myself busy
If there's
salting
anything
the
we can
meal
do,
with my tears.
if there's anything we can do, just let us know.
Riley's house is ready for you two, and I know Nova and Oliver already set everything up for Laura and Nate, and I know I said that you could stay here, but I think I just need things to go back to normal for a little bit, and that means that you can't be here.
Sure. Yeah. We can pack up our stuff, and is there a way that we can get there? We don't really have a vehicle.
It's close enough to walk, just... I know Samuel said he was coming by for you and Nate.
We'll find our way, don't you worry. Just take care of yourself, Tilly, and I'm sure we'll see you around.
You know where to find me.
I'm not one to outstay my welcome, and I'm gonna walk out of the room.
When she
And
leaves,
I turn off all the stove things.
when she leaves, Carl just kind of looks at her like with a knowing look of grief and just says, sometimes it's better to not be alone. If you want someone to go with you, just let me know.
She looks up at you, and her face is red and wet from tears now. But she tries to force a smile and kind of puts a hand to your cheek and says, You're very sweet. I think I need to lean on my own community for this. Just don't let this put a black cloud on your stay. Our town is really nice.
Carl kind of like grab her hand and just hold it a little bit and say, don't worry about us. We'll sort this out. I think everyone's just a little on edge. I mean,
Yeah.
I think even I am.
Well, just I don't know. If you get a chance to face whatever, just don't let things fester. You don't want to end up like me. And she kind of looks over where your mom was. You don't want to end up like you don't want to end up like me.
He like lets go of her hand and says, yeah, maybe it's time I take a little bit of my own medicine. I guess I just gotta figure out the best way to do that for me. Just like you have to figure out what works best for you.
Yeah. Well, I have a few orders I have to salvage. Don't mind the others. They're nosy. Nothing goes on in this town.
Yeah, I imagine. Carl will just kind of try to give a little smile, but grabs like a napkin or towel, whatever is nearby, and kind of hands it to her, and then like walks to the door and looks back kind of awkwardly, and then just walks out.
You see she takes it and sort of tries to go back to normal and just gives you a smile as you leave. And as you leave, you see Laura and Nate coming down the stairs. And where did you go, Marie?
I think Marie just missed Nate and Laura heading down the stairs by already getting to her bedroom. And she closes the door behind her while they start to gather their things. And her hands sort of stop the busy work and slide up into the sleeves of her too big, oversized orange sweatshirt. I just don't know how to deal with this. I don't know how to help Carl right now. I just wish you were here. And that's the only moment she gives herself to have some comfort before she continues on business as usual and blinks away her tears.
You gather your things.
I think Carl comes out of the kitchen and then just sees Nate and I think Laura. Is that all? Did you see my mom?
No.
No.
She just left.
Maybe she went to her room. I'm going to start heading off towards the room. I think Nate is still kind of like on high alert. He's like, okay, who knows what could be happening. We don't want anybody else getting haunted. So, yeah, I'd like to head off.
What did you do with the collection of papers that you had gathered?
I still have those sort of clutched to my chest in one hand as I'm heading off.
Cool.
As Nate's walking away with paper in his hand, I think Carl just looks at Laura and is like, what happened?
Probably
What?
just come with us and we can fill you in with your mom.
Okay. Carl
Do you
will
know-
follow Laura.
And I'll like put my hand out just to like kind of stop you if you'll let me. You don't feel anything weird here?
I mean, there are a few things that are weird.
But you don't, like gut reactions? Have you gotten any of those since you've been here?
I mean, a little bit. When we got in that accident, I freaked out for a moment because I thought my mom might have been having a concussion. And then when we got here and there's a storm, I don't know how long we're going to be here, and I'm not going to be able to get back to work. So I guess that's kind of the feeling. Did you find out what was in the photo?
I think we found a few things. Nate has most of it. Are you still going tonight?
I think so. Why?
You see Laura just kind of like look at you and then like look past you.
Carl will kind of like look behind.
And then like realizing like kind of like in a dissociative way and then like kind of pull her eyes back to yours. I think you just be careful.
Yeah, of course. I always try to be careful.
I don't think this place is what it seems.
What do you mean? It's a little town.
There's something wrong here.
Like, what kind of wrong?
Let's just go tell your mom, fill both of you in on what we saw in the room. And did Tilly calm down?
Yeah. I think that she hasn't quite dealt with the grief of her husband. I kind of understand that. I think she's just been kind of working through it. You know, sometimes you just keep yourself busy and you don't stop. You just keep living, pretending like it never happened. And as Carl's saying that, it's almost like he's saying that that's what he's doing.
Would you say that that's noticeable to Laura, that's...
Yeah.
I didn't know your father when he passed, but I knew him when he was younger. And he would have been very proud of you.
Thanks. Everyone says that.
But can I give you some advice? I know a lot of times younger folks don't want advice from older ones.
I'll take any advice I can get.
Don't use work to hide, because you're going to miss out on a lot. And then before you know it, you're 50, and there's a whole life you didn't live.
But you have to survive.
I don't know if what I've been doing is surviving. I think there's a difference between living and existing.
Then what have you been doing?
Existing.
I guess I don't understand. What more would you want to, like, is there something that you wish that you would have done?
There are many things I wish I would have done. There's many things I wish I could experience or could have. All I'm saying is that do the things that your father can't do. And find things that make you happy and leave behind the rest. So honestly, maybe it's good you go tonight and that you have this outlook, because it's so much different than mine.
Yeah, maybe it is. I guess for me, I like work. I like what I do.
Do you like work, or is work who you are?
I guess I don't really know.
I've spent my whole life trying to find moments of joy, and I work a lot too. And there have been very few moments of joy in that work.
I guess the difference for me is there's a lot of moments of joy in my work. I get to help people. I feel like there's more joy in that than when I'm not there.
That means you're doing something right. Maybe I should be taking advice from you.
I don't know about that.
All I'll say is because I'm for doing what you want when you want to do it. Just make sure you have eyes in the back of your head.
All right. So you're telling me to go to the party, or are you not telling me to go to the party? Because I'm getting mixed vibes right now.
I think you should do what you want to do. And it doesn't matter what I think.
Okay. What if, let's say, I want to join a coven?
You're gonna come to this town and you're gonna join. What is even a coven? I mean, I've seen movies. Is
I
it
don't
Bubble
know.
Bubble, Toil and Trouble? Is it Hocus Pocus?
Something with witches, I think.
We'll jump away as Carl explains that, and Nate arrives at Marie and Carl's room.
I'll knock on the door frame. If I arrive before Marie has exited, I'd like to just knock on the door and say, "Marie, are you in there?"
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh. Can I come in?
And yeah, the door. I open the door
Uh,
at that point.
Can I see that Marie has been crying or seems distressed at all?
Probably.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Probably.
A lot of makeup, I would imagine.
I sort of look down at her, and I say, "Oh, are you all right? You look like you've been crying."
Well, he's kind of a bitch. And
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm failing.
You're a successful author. You're one of the most successful. I can't remember what kind of books you write, but I think you're one of the most successful ones.
Writing isn't everything, though. Did you see Carl? While Tilly was talking?
Yeah, it looks just like him.
He's so broken, and I don't know how can I help him when I'm so broken?
You're broken, but you seem like you have it all together. You seem, of any of us, you're so confident. Kind of mean, actually. Like, confidently mean. Did you ever see that movie? It's called... Is it called, like, Satan Wears Chanel or something? It's like a fashion movie with Marilyn Streep.
I did know that one.
Yeah. You're like her.
Well, she was successful.
Well, I mean, so are you. You're... Tilly, I mean, look, Tilly's horrible, but she at least knows... She loves your books, and her husband loved your books.
But does she love my books? It seemed like she didn't. After she loved them for what they were, but not what they've become. I guess that's kind of what you're saying about me right now.
What, that people love you for what you were, but not what you've become?
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe I'm mean.
Nate, you do not have a mean bone in your body.
Well, thank you. And I'll be honest, I didn't think you did either. I guess we haven't really had a chance to talk, but you seem things have changed. Like the song, you know, times have changed.
Ba-ba-ba-da-ba.
Yeah, Cole Porter.
It's a good musical.
Anything goes. But anyway, we're not here to talk about the foundations of musical theater. We're here to talk about, well, I want to know if you feel comfortable, what's eating at you?
I feel like I've latched on to this confidence. I'm glad it shows. But it's not real. It's like I took fake it till you make it, and it mutated into who I am right now. Almost like that picture we saw. It's
Oh.
it was always given to me as advice. Starting in high school. I think not high school. Well, yeah. I think Andy said it to me. That the more I believed I could be successful, the more likely it was to happen, and I don't know, I think since he died, I've had to just keep on this. I had to keep everything together. I had to keep myself together. I had to keep Carl together. Our life, our livelihood. I can't let them. They have a great job. They are a healer, but I don't want them to worry. I don't want him to end up a shell of himself like me.
That sounds like a huge amount of pressure. You had a lot on your shoulders. And, look, as somebody who's lifted a lot of weights, that ain't easy. That's tough. But, I mean, you seem like you have it all together. And so, you're doing a good job of faking it, at least. And hey, you do it long enough, maybe you'll make it. And you know, Carl seems like a great kid. They seem smart. They seem maybe a little too trusting. But I don't know. They seem really smart. And they seem like they have it together. They already made a friend, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Thank you.
they're gonna go join the cult. They're following in your footsteps.
Carrying on the tradition.
Yeah. Oh.
What
Yeah,
did you see in that room?
Oh.
You did check it out, didn't you?
Yeah. And I hold out the papers and I say, these. You remember in the photo there was the plant. There was the plant and it was on the walls and it was moving. And I hold out a few of the. Yeah, it was pulsing out of the body, and I hold a couple of the images up in like an arrangement so that you can see how they sort of connect to each other. And I say, it looks like it was a bunch of paintings on the wall that formed this big painting.
Oh.
Marie, these were definitely painted by Benjamin.
They look. I mean, you know what that brushstroke looks like, don't you?
You didn't notice, Nate?
It's Benjamin.
We have to talk to Laura. She found a painting of his too. We have to talk to Laura. And the body. You remember the body?
On the bed?
Yes. We looked on the bed. There was no body, but when we pulled the sheet away, there was a stain in the shape of a body on the bed. It's like in the photo, what was in the photo was all the stuff, the images. It's like they came real, and we have to talk to Katie. I'm saying Katie, my goodness, we have to talk to Laura. I'm discombobulated.
Okay,
And I walk downstairs.
Get in here. Oh,
I walk back into the room.
I imagine at this point, Laura and Carl are making their way up to the bed.
I think
I start to go downstairs, see them walking, immediately turn back in, and I'll say, sorry, Katie's one of the teachers at the school. She always complains that the kids come from gym sweaty. It's a whole thing. She looks weirdly like Laura.
Yeah, that sounds like something a Katie would say.
Yeah, really obnoxious.
I hear you found a painting as well. These are Benjamin's.
A painting?
Though? Oh, and while I had been talking to you, I probably had in my hand this piece of paper just at my side. Yeah, this one's of, and now that's in the light more, a waterfall?
They have both collections of paintings. The edges have started to crack and break just from handling, from being so dry and brittle. But you can still make out what appears to be a waterfall.
Why would
I-
Benjamin's paintings be in the room next to the one that I'm sleeping in? And I grab Carl
Maybe-
and kind of pull Carl into the room and
Carl
close the door.
awkwardly follow, and while Carl's being pulled in, Carl's probably like, well, maybe they knew each other, Benjamin and Daniel. It seems like this whole town knew Benjamin. Would it
Those
really be that?
paintings that Nate had were like ornately adorning a wall behind the bed that had a stain on it of a body. And this one, I just start waving around the waterfall one, was in the drawer in the desk, like almost hidden.
Okay, people put things in drawers, but people put paintings on walls. So do you see a body?
We saw with the outline of what
Stain.
was.
It was
Which
in this.
correlates. It
There was an
correlates with
outline
what
of a
Tilly
body?
told us. Because Tilly said she couldn't deal with the grief and she just left him there. Well, she didn't say that in so many words, but that's what I took from it.
Yeah,
How
she had
long you have
someone
to
else
leave
take-
a body?
Yeah, do you know? Because you might actually know.
Actually,
And I pointed.
Carl
I
might
pointed.
know.
Carl. Yeah.
Give me a medical roll.
Also, like when people died, don't they sometimes like
Yes, they
excrete
do.
stuff? So it could look like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
what
but
the
you gotta.
stain
You
looked
got,
like.
if you're gonna be leaking that much enough to leave a
It was-
full body shaped stain.
Yeah, it was like I imagine like a chalk line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not like somebody evacuated. It was somebody had been there decomposing for a
Okay,
while.
medicine, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. 14 out of 41, hard success. Ooh.
Oh.
Based on the description, you clock that it probably wasn't the body decomposing. What it was fluids such as sweat and like pus and whatnot collecting on the mattress and not being maintained properly. Something that you see a lot in homes that don't take care of their bedridden too well.
I
and
kind of
then it
reiterate.
probably grew some extracurriculars after the fact.
Yeah, some little biological friends. I shared that information and probably more graphically because Carl is a weirdo.
More scientifically.
Yeah, more scientifically, yeah.
Hmm.
That's worse than what I thought.
But I see it often, especially in houses where people want to like caretake for their own. They're
But-
not willing to
but if-
take them.
But if that was her husband, surely she would have taken better care of him. She's so sad about his
But
death.
she's-
Surely she would have taken better care of him than that.
Yeah, but it would be like me taking care of you. I can't move you and wash you in the way that you would need to be.
This
You know?
town is like all up each other's butts. You think that they would do like a tag team situation and help. Because
Yeah,
apparently
maybe.
someone could help close the door and deal with it after he apparently expired in there with probably nobody at his side.
They all seem to have a lot of grief. I don't know how much they love Daniel.
Well, it looks like they didn't love him very much when he was dying.
Well, sometimes when people are sick, other people don't want to be near them. It can be hard.
I don't know, Andy, Carl. I just think that the things aren't adding up. Maybe it's just me, but this feels like just another thing that it's almost possible, but then when you put it with everything else, it's just a lot. Like, okay,
so
I
what we
told you
saw
about
in the
the woman.
photo wasn't real? I'm confused.
But that's the thing. You saw the body in the photo, but then when we
Maybe.
went up
I don't
there,
know. I didn't get
we
to look at
couldn't-
it that long. Maybe it wasn't really a body. If you guys said that you didn't see one.
But
maybe
I
it was
then
saw
when
it too. We can't all have collectively hallucinated, could we?
For an instant, we all looked and saw a body that wasn't there, and then when we pull back the sheet underneath the covers, there's a stain in the shape of a body.
Oh, it was under the covers?
Yeah, it was on the bed itself. You
Not
couldn't
on
see it from
top?
just looking. No, you had to pull stuff back.
Okay, that's
How is that in the
weird.
photo? What is it, an X-ray photo?
Okay,
Is your
that's
phone
not
weird.
that
Superman?
good. No, it's just an iPhone.
This isn't some kind of weird prank. Like, you guys are all being real right now, right?
I don't.
Yeah.
We
I don't even
prank
like pranks.
anymore.
Okay. So we saw a body, or what we thought was. I mean, it was dark in the room.
And it was moving.
It wasn't
Yes.
moving. It wasn't
It
moving.
was-
It's
it
a
was
photo.
Undulating.
No.
It was like pulsing, like a
Okay,
vein
now
or
you
something.
all are losing it. It was not moving. It's a photo.
I feel like I'm losing it a little bit.
I saw it move too. That's why I threw my phone.
Mom, did you see it moving?
I didn't see it moving, but I'm sort of thinking if maybe you know more about this, Andy, with your Carl. Sorry. Maybe you know more about this because of this. Is there a way that a camera lens can capture something that we can't see? This seems like a trope that I would include in a book.
Yeah, that's like,
Is there any scientific reasoning behind that? Do you know?
do I know of any scientific reasoning behind that? That I feel like that's very much like occult stuff. That is not. I don't think a Carl would know anything about that.
If you wish to roll occult,
Sure,
may.
it's gonna go bad. Let's go.
Can I do that too? As I ask the question?
yeah, you're more likely to because of
23 out of
research as a
5.
writer.
Carl's like, no, it's a picture. It reflects light and color, and it will project kind of like what it's, seeing.
Yeah, it was a stretch, and I got 78 out of 55.
Oh my god.
Can I also roll occult? It's not any better. But I just wanna. I feel like Nate is on the verge of freaking out. He may already be a little freaking out.
You have been freaking out. You've been investigating.
Yeah.
I will
All of
allow
you.
it. Yeah.
All right. Just thinking of all the different anything I've watched or consumed because I don't really read, but anything that I've like seen or maybe even overheard students talking about if it was in a TV show or something. Hard success. 10 versus
What?
25.
10 out of 25?
10
That's
versus 25.
crazy. How?
Wow.
Nate.
Kelly regretting letting me roll that.
No, this is fine. You recall a group of students talking about specifically a camera that could capture the image of ghosts. They called it camera obscura.
The obscure camera, a camera obscura.
What are you? What?
It's a ghost camera. It can capture ghosts. It can make you see ghosts.
Okay, I do not
That's
think
kind
there's
of
such
what
It's
a
on a
was
thing.
TV show or
talking about.
something. But it's like a special camera that they use, the ghost hunters, and they use it to try and see. They try and see ghosts.
I don't think any of that's real.
I mean, my iPhone, I didn't order on Amazon an Obscura filter for my phone.
Oh, I hear maybe it was in the terms and conditions. I hear they put all kinds of stuff in there.
I honestly might believe you because I know I just agree to those things without reading them.
That's what I've heard.
I
Could
don't
they have
think-
that in the new phones?
No,
I don't know.
I think it's possible.
it's not.
But then you've all seen that movie. What is
Yeah,
it?
it's a movie. That's
The
not
Si-
real.
The Sixth Sense. It's the Sixth Sense.
I see dead people.
With the photos, and in the movie you see the kid, and he sees, and there's a little glowing thing, where the kid's looking in the photos. Whenever there's the dead people,
Oh, the little lights.
yeah, it's a
They're
little,
like
it's a little
spirits.
light. Yeah. Could it be that maybe your phone you captured the spirit? You
Oh
you
my
captured an image
gosh,
of the spirit?
You guys, there's no such thing as that.
Andy,
Might as well
what are
double
you gonna-
check with our phones.
Those
We may
things
as
are like
well.
reflections on things that it's a lot of that stuff can be faked.
All right. Let's go over, because I'm just saying there's been weird stuff happening all along. Okay, we get here and there's immediately the snowstorm, and it turns out Liam looks just like Benjamin, but
Because that's
doesn't
his
tell us-
father.
well, yeah, but oh, right, sorry, Carl. The sometimes kids look like their parents, but not like that. I thought it was him at first.
You've called me my father's name more times than I can count this whole 2 days.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. It just seems weird to me because, and then Laura has the weird dream with the mold, and then she goes in and she gets like haunted, and then I had the gas station. I told you about the lady with the gas station who told me not to come here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
She said I had already gone too close and I needed to leave. Has anybody else had anything weird?
We
Mm.
crashed on the
We got
way
in a
in.
car accident.
It's true.
but-
You had your wreck.
But there was something in the street. I was trying to avoid it, and it was icy.
What was in the street?
It looked like eyes.
And he's just like motioning. Eyes in the street, and then it's
Yeah,
gone.
It's probably like a deer or something.
I tried calling my friend, and he said turn back.
Something happened to me too after the crash. I must have been dreaming or something. It was similar to you, I guess, Laura. But I was following Andy. Andy's voice. I thought it was Carl at first, but it was your dad. And when I found him, he was disfigured. It was terrible. He chased me back to the car. And then you were waking me up in your arms, Carl.
Yeah, you had a concussion or something, Mom. You were out of it. I was trying to wake you up for a while. Laura, I don't want to be rude, but did you take anything?
No. Well, I don't. These will be the first people to tell you I hadn't tried anything in college, and I only
Doesn't
did a
mean you
handful of
haven't
times.
now.
Listen, I know I live within the rock and roll realm, but I've always stayed away from that stuff because it clouds my mind and it gives me nightmares. So no.
Well, your eyes look pretty red.
Because I've just been through an awful night's sleep. I've had nightmares. I banged on a mattress that kicked up a lot of dust.
Oh. Dust would do that. I guess. Have to be a lot of
You hear
dust.
a soft knock on the door.
Nate's just gonna
Expectancy?
open the door like wild-eyed.
You see standing in front of you a still disheveled, somewhat more organized now Samuel, who sort of jumps back a bit. I thought this was Marie and Carl's room. Although I needed to talk to you too, Nate. Tilly said I could come up. You guys were just packing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Right, we
Well.
have to pack.
I could wait downstairs if you wanted.
No, it's okay. What did you want to talk about?
Carl, I just wanted to let you know I went to Walt's to check on Liam, gave him fluids, checked vitals. He seems a bit worse for wear, but I think he's gonna do fine. I'm gonna be taking care of other people probably after the game, so if you have a chance to maybe stop by, check them out later. That'd be good.
Okay.
And Nate, I wanted to see if you still weren't interested in going to the game.
Could you wait here for just a second?
Sure.
I turn around and I say, should I go to this game? I'm
What
wondering,
game?
they're gonna have a hockey game. One of the fellas invited me. They wanted me to come play. I guess Benjamin had told them that I was good at hockey, and they wanted me to come play. And so, should I go? Maybe we could find if. What I'm saying is maybe if we, what's the word? Like in Scooby-Doo, we split up the team, right? Freddie
Oh, that's a
and
mistake.
Daphne, Velma and Shaggy and Scooby. And
Okay, if we don't go
Again.
alone,
It's a cartoon.
but the strategy remains the same.
maybe one of you could come with me to the game, and one of us could go with Carl to the coven.
All right, I'm
Coven.
sticking with hockey.
You say coven? Carl never told you about the coven.
Oh, I thought I'd been told about the coven. To the other thing, because I heard Carl was going to a thing.
A party, yeah.
It was a party thing. The chip cult.
I don't think they want any, no offense to you all, any of you to go to the party.
But Laura, you're a rock star. Wouldn't they want a rock star? You know, rock stars are good at partying.
You can tell that, like, when Carl asked about the drug thing, that Laura's a bit wounded. I could bring the drugs.
I don't think that's a good idea.
She's kidding.
Do I seem like a druggie?
No.
No,
A little.
you seem very vanilla.
A little?
Yeah, you have been seeing things and your eyes
Your
look really
mother saw
red.
something. We've all seen things.
Yeah.
Laura's just like looking at you, and it's kind of like a knowing look of, it's almost like a foreboding and worry for Carl, because Nate told me about a dream, Marie told me about a dream, I've had a dream. Carl just hasn't had a dream yet. I think Carl wants to go alone tonight, and apparently I might be a liability. I am a good time, but I might be a liability with all the drugs that I do.
Well, it was always fun to have another cheerleader by my side in the past. Why don't we kick it up again? What do you say?
The chip cold back together?
I don't think they have ketchup chips here.
I don't think they have salt and vinegar chips here.
Be lucky
You
if they
all
have
are so
Tostitos.
weird.
I bet
You
you they
think
don't even
I'm
have
weird.
guac.
Good thing you brought your guac.
Never leave home without it.
You brought guac? Like guacamole.
I need to pull back the curtain for just a moment out of this scene.
Samuel's just been there the whole time.
Did Nate leave the guac in his car overnight?
It's just hard, solid.
Nate, I think, is not conscientious about a lot of things, but I think, oh wait, no, because I got distracted. That's true. Ordinarily, Nate would have taken great care to preserve that guac, but it is possible that at this point the guac has turned into a rock.
We could roll a luck if you want to do that.
I would love to.
This is an important luck roll, so I think this is a good time.
As the guac
while
master,
Samuel is-
it is
while
important.
Samuel is waiting outside.
This is pivotal.
Okay.
50 versus 50.
Oh,
That
barely.
is right on the line.
On the fringe, so there is a carton of guac safely tucked away in the fridge, probably having gotten Tilly to take care of it.
I'm like, I brought guac. I always bring guac. And actually, at Carl's question, Nate's going to lean in very, very like closely and very intently and just say, "I'm the guac master."
All
Right.
hail the guac master.
I say that in unison with Laura.
And I
you
just
sure
lean
you're
back
all
still and
not
take
on
full
something?
T-pose.
What is going on?
I throw the door back open and I say, I forgot your name, but I'm coming to the game.
Samuel
And
turns around and like looks offended at that immediately. Okay. I also had a follow-up. I'm supposed to lead you to your homes, but that's good. You're coming to the game. We've got extra gear if you don't have any.
Samuel, while you're here, I have another question, which is,
Fire away.
do you remember Daniel?
Yeah.
He was brought to you, I heard.
He was brought back. We sort of took care of him. In the end,
You took care of him.
yeah. This was kind of the last stop for him.
I'm very familiar about lung cancer and the damage it does to a body while the person's still living.
Yeah.
But
Wait.
still, sorry, yes.
Are you a doctor as well?
No, my husband went through something similar.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's pretty tough. But no, this was, yeah, his last stop. I would check in on him daily. Of course, Tilly wouldn't have, didn't really want it that way.
What does that mean? Is it like a hospice situation?
Yeah, he preferred to stay somewhere familiar for his palliative care.
Wait, you said Tilly didn't want you to come here?
Kind of like looks down the hallway and looks back at you. Yeah, Daniel was kind of pretty bad in life.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Yeah.
Kind of, kicking it back and took it out on her sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah. Some of us were not too torn up when he went.
Was anyone friends with him?
I mean, a few people around town kind of turned a blind eye to it and still played poker with him, went fishing. You know how it is.
So what, Tilly was pretty heartbroken or no?
Guilty more, I think.
Why guilty?
Feeling guilt, relief, guilt. Sometimes when families go through this and it's tough to reconcile not really feeling upset about your loss.
What about Benjamin? Was Benjamin friends with Daniel?
For the most part, yeah. Benjamin tried to be friends with most people around town. He was kind of a pretty likable guy.
Nate's gonna lean in and say, when you were taking care of Daniel, and you knew what he was, you knew how he'd been, did you maybe feel like you could get a little revenge on behalf of Tilly and the rest of the town there at the end?
Go ahead and roll a charm. Just to see how this comes across.
Would persuade maybe be any more appropriate?
It's less that you're trying to get him to say something specific and more how Nate presents this question.
All right. Here we go.
And the
Got a
man's got
15
googly
in
eyes
charm.
for you, so.
That's true. I got a 15 in charm. Here we go.
Oh,
Ooh,
82
no.
versus 15.
terrible.
Even if I spent all of my luck, I could not fix that. In fact, am I able to push and then spend luck?
You can't. You can only push, at which point the dice lie where they will.
All right, then I'm not going to push.
He looks stunned and a little more than a little put off, but seems to no. It would be unethical.
Nate has a dark sense of humor. Nate, you're not supposed to do that with people we don't know very well. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm just
Listen,
messing around, trying to lighten the mood. Things
I
felt
get
kind of
the-
heavy.
Yeah. No, I would never do anything like
Yeah.
that. Listen, get your stuff. It's
Does it look like he's
I-
telling the truth when he says that?
Give me a psychology.
Okay. Also, you guys are all acting so weird. Like, you just did a chant about chips, and then Carl's like, what is going on?
Who are these weirdos?
61 out of 65.
Yes.
I'm gonna message you.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Private revelations. Secret revelations. The hype is real.
Oh my gosh.
Nate may have been onto something.
I gather my bags since Sam asked us to, and I had already packed when I was in here privately before, so I'm ready to mosey on out.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all
Carl
my
just has, like,
stuff
one
and also
bag.
pack the guac. I don't think I unpacked at all. Like, I don't even think I really changed clothes. So I think I'm just gonna get all my stuff and then get the guac and put that with everything else.
Okay. Carl doesn't
and-
say anything. Just kind of is like, has a look of like knowing, and is turned back to his mom and her friends and them being weird.
Laura, do you grab your stuff from your room?
Yeah, as soon as I get the opportunity to, I lean into the room, kind of like keeping it kicked open with one of my legs to gather all my stuff as best as possible. And I probably like try to not look at the door, but before I leave, I'm going to look at that door one more time.
Feels comforting.
Ugh.
Can I there is one thing I really wanted to try just before leaving. Can I walk into the room just once I have out my stuff and walk to Laura's room and just to check on her? And when I get there, I would like to ask her, I'll say, before we go, I know we were talking about cameras and stuff. Do you think if I lent you my phone, you could take a photo of the room?
Yes,
Just see?
there's you saw it too, right? Like you saw that. I'll go in right now. Just give me your phone.
Here, I hand you the flip phone.
And just without a second thought, I'm going to walk towards that door and go
Roll
in
me
if I can.
a power.
Okay. It's a failure, 61 versus 55.
Spend the
I'm gonna-
luck.
Oh,
Spend the luck. It's only 6. It's only 6. You can get that back in a session.
I kind of want to know what's going to happen, though. Maybe it'll be a good thing.
No.
No.
What are
But I'm here for
you
it.
talking about?
I think Laura looked at the door. It was so comforting that whatever power this is pulling her to it.
all right. Well, you walk through the door pretty easily and stand where the remains of your investigation are, and I'm going to message you something else.
Oh
So much secret
While
stuff
that's going
happening.
on, Could Carl have talked to Nate before you went into the room with Laura? So like rewind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Carl doesn't have a lot to pack. Carl has like one bag, and that's it. It's like a duffel bag. And Carl kind of like knocks on your door.
Yes.
It's Carl.
Oh, hey.
Can I come in?
Oh yeah. And you know what? I'm so sorry about always calling you by your dad's name. You know, there's something about you that really reminds me of him, and he and I were real close. We were real close for a long time.
I think I've seen photos of you before.
Oh, he had photos.
Yeah, from when you guys were in college and hockey, and some high school ones too.
Yeah, we knew each other I knew your parents when they got together.
Kind of had a question, but it might be weird.
No, look, everything's weird right now. Go ahead.
And don't worry about calling me my dad's name. My mom does it all the time, and other people do it, and I'm pretty used to it.
He was a special guy, your dad.
What's the best way to get someone to like you? Like you.
Oh.
I would ask my dad.
Like you. Right. Yeah, no, he was good at that. He was really good at that. All right. So I bought a book on tape about this. And
okay.
So what I've been told, or what the book on tape said, is that you gotta dress cool and you gotta be nice, but not too nice. You know, nice enough to seem approachable, but not nice, like still distant enough so that it seems like, you know, there's some mystery and there's something that they want to get to know better, like there's a chase.
Right.
But not so far away that they're like, oh, they can't ever, you know. There's like a middle ground there that you gotta hit. And then sometimes you have to act like you're a little interested in them, but not like openly, but like you might be interested in them. And then if they seem like they're interested in you, you act a little more interested. And then if they keep acting more interested, then you just ask them. You just ask them out.
Ask them out.
Yeah.
You want to go out?
Yeah, or you can just ask them like, hey, you've been giving me, you know, the signals. I'm picking up what you're putting down. How about I pick you up? And then we can both go down.
Okay. I think I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow. I get like, wow. There's like an inner moment where Nate's like, man, it's like I'm getting to be the fill-in father for a second here. It's like, oh, like tag team dads. Inward, I don't say that out loud. But
and meanwhile, Carl's inward thoughts are like monologue is like, so I have to be interesting, but not too interesting. I need to be mysterious, but not mysterious. And I need to be friendly, but not too friendly.
Seeing the confused look on Carl's face, Nate's just gonna say, okay, so like you're a doctor, so you know a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff. That's cool and it's interesting. But you also, you know, you have a whole, you know, there's a lot of information, you know, a lot of experiences. You know, doctors, they see a lot on the job. There's a mystery there. You know, maybe you've seen some really scary stuff or emotional stuff. Don't just bring that out all the time, but, you know, like play to your strengths.
Okay. Thanks. Can you not tell my mom that we had this conversation?
And then even more like on the inside, they don't want me to tell their mom. We had a private conversation. And then outwardly, I'm just gonna and just put a hand on Carl's shoulder and I say, Your secret's safe with me.
Thanks. Carl looked like they wanted to say something, but then just doesn't, and just walks out of the room.
And we fast forward to Nate's request for Laura to take the picture. Laura, as I said, confidently walks into the extra room, Nate, and you hear fiddling with your phone, and then she comes back out.
I'd like to walk over and look and say, "What? Let's look and look at the pictures."
I'll flip it open and
They don't elicit anything. They're a bit blurry. Your camera phone is not great.
oh, I don't know if it's the pixels or what, but I just don't think it worked.
Maybe mine doesn't have the camera obscura inside of it.
I guess maybe, I don't know, it's the different kind of phone. I mean, and I'm just
Yeah.
gonna click through because I probably took a few.
Yeah.
None of them came out.
Did you get another feeling when you went in there? Because when we went in there before, I got a feeling.
What
It
did
was
you
like
feel?
It was a feeling, like a heavy feeling, like I was scared, but I couldn't get away. Something was holding me down. But then there was that when I saw the paintings, it was like the thing that was holding me down suddenly started pulling me forward.
Is that
Like
why
I
you
had to see it.
tripped?
Yeah, I guess I didn't even notice.
When I was in there, when it was dark, it felt nice. Felt like being wrapped in a blanket, like the kind of comfort that you strive for. And then when we turned your light on your phone, it just like poof, evaporated.
Huh. I think it's good that we're leaving this place.
Like just now it felt. And I like look longingly at the door. It didn't feel bad.
Did it feel like it wanted you to be there?
I don't know. And like just looking into this darkness, which normally I think would scare anybody just from being dark, just doesn't feel wrong.
I think we should leave. I don't think it's good that room feels good, and that it feels inviting, and that it's wrapping you.
What about, and like you see Laura kind of like shake herself out of it a little bit. What about the fact that Tilly is crying crocodile tears apparently?
I just feel like we don't have enough pieces yet. Maybe at the hockey game, y'all can ask around, and maybe we can get a few more details.
Do you think we need to change how we're doing this? Because at this point, I know that you know that we saw something. Do we just have to be like a sheep in wolf's clothing? Wait, is it the other way? A wolf in sheep's clothing?
It's that way, yeah. Well, I mean, Carl got invited to the party thing, so maybe if we just act nice and quiet, sort of like Carl, more things will open up.
You got invited to do hockey.
Yeah, and I guess I hadn't really said much up to that point, so maybe we just gotta stop talking.
Also, and I know that this is stupid and I know that I shouldn't let it get into my head, but do I seem like I'm on drugs?
No. I've seen people on drugs before, And no, you don't seem like you're on drugs.
As she mentions that, Nate, you notice that her eyes are quite red and reminiscent of some of the students that would partake.
Are they dilated at all?
No, but they are quite red around the edges.
Your eyes are really red, though. Maybe it'd be good for you to wash them out. Get some water in them.
I'll go to that mirror as Nate says that, and I'm gonna look in the mirror and like do the whole like pull down your little bit and like look at him.
Yeah, it's pretty red. And you see as you pull down your lids, there's like little black dots sort of in the actual raw area of your eye.
And I like walk over to Nate with like my hand pulling it down. Like there's like little black dots.
Can I see
Looks
it too?
Yeah, it looks like whatever was coming off that mattress got into her eyes.
Oh, we gotta wash those out. I'm gonna start pouring water in the sink and just like cup some with my hands, and like hold it. Like we gotta wash those out. That's not good.
As soon as I have access to any sort of water, I'm like doing the whole like keeping my eyes open and flushing my eyes out. Just complete. That's my main goal right now, is to do the hand version of whatever those little sinks are in chemical labs.
You do, with enough washing, manage to get the black dots out and clean your eyes, but they are very red and sort of itchy now. Samuel sees you all walk out, but seems to be like leaving you alone while you pack, and doesn't come to check on you.
Can I check my eyes real quick? Because I got the dust in my face too.
They're a little irritated, but don't have the black stuff in them.
All right, I'll give a little bit of a wash, but nowhere near as intense.
Yeah.
Are they still there?
No, it looks like you got them.
What was that? What was that?
I'm telling you, something about that mold.
Why would I dream about mold and then there's like mold?
I don't know. I think the sooner we get out of here, the better. I think we got to move into our new homes, temporary, and then let's head over to this hockey game and just play it cool.
Are you not at all worried about like moving into someone's house that we've never met before? They're like, hey, come sleep in our guest bedroom.
I'm going to be honest, I'm worried about everything. But we can't stay here. And at least there we'll be staying. Well, I guess the way that they described it is that we'll be sleeping like. I guess Nate's. I'll say out of character. Nate is imagining that we're gonna be staying in like adjacent rooms or something. Like so, at least there, we'll be in a smaller area. There's gonna be fewer people. If we need to, we'll have easier access to help each other.
I will remind you all, because it has been a bit. The way that it's been described to you is that the owners of the houses are staying with friends and have basically offered to let you stay in their house.
We'll have the houses to ourselves.
Still weird. It's like a forced Airbnb situation. I don't like it.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, have you noticed?
What can we do?
I don't think we have a choice, because Tilly's kicking us out. It's not even like we have a choice to stay here. Not that I want to sleep in the bedroom next to the bedroom. Her husband, I don't know what happened to him.
Whatever happened, he's dead.
And I start grabbing my things and kind of pulling them out of the room into the hall. And then I'll like scan the hall really quick to make sure nobody's there. Did you notice that
You see Samuel sort of like standing on at the just where the stairs meet the hallway, leaning up against the ledge and looking at his phone.
I kind of clock that, give a jealous pang as I see he's looking at his phone, being like, what on earth could he be looking at? He don't have any service here. And then look to Nate. Did you notice that Marie still wears Andy's sweater?
And I just silently nod. I think she's had trouble letting go too.
I should give her a little more grace. I miss her. I miss my friend.
Well, hey, maybe at the hockey game, you two will be able to connect like old times, cheerleaders, like she said.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I know, like, sometimes she's been through a lot.
Yeah.
Um, what on earth? And then I'm gonna look back over at Samuel like, hey, Samuel,
Yeah.
do you all have an electronics store here?
No. Either have to get into the city or Walt.
Like, you don't even have any, like, pay phone, like, like, burner phones? Nothing like that?
Burner.
No, I don't think so.
It's kind of like your phone, but, like, you just buy it and, like, you use it
Burn
for a
it?
little bit. They don't burn it. It's like in a movie, like, the spies have their burner phones.
I know what a burner phone is. I was thinking. If
No,
we had
I
any.
think Nate just didn't know what the burner
Sorry.
phone was.
I'm not a big techno guy.
I'm gonna teach him.
Yeah, me neither. I was taught how to use this phone. And he sort of like faces it towards you, and you can see the calendar app, and he says, I mostly just use it for appointments.
Do you get internet or service here?
No.
Oh. I hope. And I want to study him for a minute. Like, does it seem like he's still bothered by the comment that Nate made earlier?
Give me a psychology.
Okay. Oh. 74 versus 10 failure.
Oh.
Wow. As you watch
Yikes.
him, you're like still rubbing your eyes, and your vision's a bit blurry, so it's hard to read him a bit. You all right there?
Yeah, I just got some dust in my eye, I think. I hope you know that. I hope that things are okay between all of us. I know everything seems very heated in this town with us.
I mean, it's troubling times. I mean, again, you haven't had a storm like this in a couple 20 years or so. So I wouldn't put too much weight into it. People tend to I wouldn't call what you did an outburst or anything, but people are gonna overlook it pretty quickly.
I do want to say I'm sorry. We've all been under a lot of stress. We have jobs and things to get back to, and the snowstorm, and obviously the loss of our friend. And we hadn't seen each other for a while, so there's a lot that's kind of come up.
Yeah, that seems like a lot. And to get you so crowded in one space, it must have been a real volatile situation.
Yeah.
You said, I think
and the mold
Nate...
from the room.
Oh yeah,
And
the mold.
I say that, and I just sort of like look at it. It's like the mold from the room.
He kind of like puts his phone in his pocket and like bends towards you. Did you get mold in your eye?
I hope not. And then I like lean in and open my eye. I rinsed it out.
Oh, that's pretty irritated.
From the room next door.
I got some drops in my Jeep. I could lend you, but if it gets worse, drop by the clinic. I don't need you scabbing over before.
Scab? What does that mean? Scabbing over my eyes?
It depends what it is. You could get pink eye, but
okay, well I can deal with pink eye, but I'm gonna lose vision.
Hopefully, that's why I'm saying if it gets worse, you're gonna be okay. Sorry, my bedside manner could use
I come to
more.
this town, I get stuck, and then I lose my vision. That's not really what I had planned.
I saw some of that mold. It was black as death.
Here,
Nate, you're not helping.
It had a lot of body to it.
Was it water damage? Yeah, we
There
gotta
was
get
some
you out.
water damage. There was a lot of water damage.
Really left an impression.
One sec.
You could say there's a waterfall of water damage.
You're like killing Kelly.
I'm gonna roll psychology for Samuel.
Just feels like it's just a lot of. I know I'm out here on a limb, but I don't know.
I got 93 on 10. So
Yikes.
you notice, Nate, as you lean closer to him, his cheeks that were like warmed up a bit outside of the cold start to get flush, like start to redden up a little bit the closer you get to him. And he doesn't seem to get what you're laying down at all. He sort of backs up a bit and bumps into the banister.
Oh,
yeah,
watch
well,
yourself.
if again,
Don't want to fall. Be like falling out of a tree from this height.
looks at you, Laura, almost for like help, like doesn't know what's going on.
And just like that kind of uncomfortable smile that someone puts on, you're like, uh-oh, someone I know is being weird and I need to like just kind of be the neutral, like, it's fine, right? This is fine. So, Nate had mentioned that Benjamin had talked about us. And I kind of like start reeling Nate back a little bit. Because I'm not necessarily like upset. I'm like, that's pretty good. But like also like
he gets like conversational whiplash. I imagine at this point, Marie and Laura, also you are free after packing up to do as you wish. And you can hear
Marie
this
and
conversation. Marie and Carl, sorry. To do as you wish. But you can see this borderline altercation at the end of the hallway going down. Yeah, he was.
Your friends are being weird again, Mom.
This place is weird.
You guys keep saying that, but it might just be you.
Well, I mean, can't it be both?
Sure?
I say that jokingly, but I really do think that something is, I won't say not right, but listen, we wouldn't get, I don't know. I don't trust Tilly. I don't trust this town. I don't trust anything.
Yeah, I got that from the letter you wrote me.
Are you going to this party?
Yeah. I kind of want to go.
Promise me that you'll be careful, okay?
Yeah, of course.
You can still have fun and, I mean, make friends. But just, we aren't at home. We don't know anyone here. And people have already been lying to us.
Who lied to you?
Tilly.
In what way?
She said that she was in grief, that she cared deeply about her husband. Made it seem like we had some sort of through line between the two of us. And in reality, her husband was a dick.
But that doesn't mean that she can't grieve them and that she didn't love them. People in abusive relationships, I see it often. They go back because they do like them. They just don't like that part of them.
She said she took care of him. That's not what Nate and Laura described from that room.
Well, we're jumping to conclusions. And like I said, there is some scientific evidence of like what potentially could have been happening. At least from what they described. It didn't sound like nefarious. It just sounds like not great hospice care, which happens sometimes when people die in their homes.
I hear you.
There's usually a logical explanation to the madness that we think of in our heads.
She nods. Okay, I'll take some of your advice if you take some of mine.
Okay? I'll be careful.
And I'll try and not freak out.
Perfect. Your friends will freak out enough for you.
And if like Carl's like about to walk away, I'll just grab your hand and be like, the chip cult wasn't actually a cult.
Okay. I was
It's just a
concerned
joke.
for a moment there because you both started chanting at the same time.
It's just a joke. It was from the first party that your dad and I had in our house. In the first apartment that you lived in.
You guys are weird. And Carl will keep walking away.
As you
and-
approach, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and try to help Sam, I think, is what's next up.
As you approach, you see him like sort of up against the banister, and he says, "And then he said you guys were in some sort of cult." I figured he was joking, but
Did he talk about us a lot?
I mean, as much as you would talk about your university friends, I don't know.
Hey, let's
some
not
fond
grill
memories.
poor Samuel. What are you guys doing?
Checks his watch. Listen, the game's supposed to start at 3, so we got about like 45 minutes to get you situated, and then to the ring.
Tilly said that where we need to go is in walking distance.
Yeah, I've got my Jeep if you want to ride.
All right.
That seems easier.
Yeah.
Sounds
All right,
good.
and I can get those drops too.
Drops.
Oh, I need eye drops.
Yeah. Your eyes
Yeah.
are really red.
I had some black spots in my eyes.
What do you
Don't wanna leave
mean?
that.
There were black spots in my eyes. Nate told me about them, and then I washed them out. And Nate has
Oh.
had a couple.
Maybe
That's
from
why
that
they're
dust
so
you were
red.
talking about. That makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
Got about 43 minutes now.
But apparently they can scab over, and I'm not really looking. to have
Carl will
that happen.
grab his mother's
let's
bags
talk and walk.
start
Let's talk and walk.
walking down the stairs.
Do you all follow Samuel
Here
outside?
you go.
Yeah.
You can. I won't even make you roll. If there is a palpable awkwardness as you make your way from the stairs across the dining area toward the entrance, and almost this panning shot of every eye slowly watching you leave, as Tilly walks out of the kitchen to serve more food. Samuel sort of turns around smiling and waves at her and says, "I'll take good care of them." As you all get on your jackets and whatnot and head outside. The wind is still aggressive. You sort of, the moment you leave, that warmth of the inn immediately escapes you as your face is just buffeted by snow and wind. And he grabs some of the bigger bags from Marie and Laura as well and says, "My Jeep's just over here in the parking lot. Follow me."
Thanks.
You can see Laura's car and Nate's car parked still, and a orange 2011 Jeep Wrangler that Samuel leads you towards and sort of like opens the back and throws all of the stuff he's carrying and gets you to throw your stuff in as well. He says, "Nate, you're probably going to want to sit in front. It's a bit tight in the back. Let the others squash in a bit."
I'll nurse that, and I'll grab the guac dip from you.
Yeah.
Cheerleaders need fuel.
Yeah. Just make sure you don't share too much of that out. I don't know.
Oh,
how long
I'm
we're
not
gonna be
sharing
here.
with anyone other than, and I gesture with my thumb to Laura.
We'll only eat half of it.
It's
But
one of those
seriously, don't
vehicles
finish
where
it,
you
please.
you have to open the door and then like move the seat forwards so that everyone can sneak into the back. And
Oh God, I hate those.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness. This is not a car made for Nate.
Yeah.
And once you get in, Nate, your legs are buckled almost nearly to your chest.
Full Mr.
And-
Incredible in the car.
You can scoot back if the ladies are fine with the room. And he hops in and closes the door and starts fiddling around the like change area of his car and pulls out some eye drops and sort of reaches his hand back to hand them to you, Laura.
You just have these in your car?
If you get enough snow and wind, your eyes are gonna dry out pretty bad. Yeah.
Can I look at it like really quick? Because I'm like, there's so many steps we skipped for me to have these if they're prescription.
It's just regular like Visine.
Oh, okay. As soon as I
drops.
realized that, I'm like, okay. Is it
They're
sealed?
like dry eye drops. It's got the twisty thing on the top.
Laura's satisfied with that. So.
Yeah.
Thank you. What do I owe you for this?
$1.75. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I have Venmo, but
You don't.
hold on. Can I rummage in my purse to see if I have any cash?
Laura's luck.
I won't make. Well, yeah. Let's
Actually,
have.
you have
It's
possessions,
2023.
right?
Roll luck to see if you have physical cash on you.
Okay, I'm kind of excited for this. Hard success. 25
Yes!
versus 55.
Yes. You gotta tip the bar. You gotta like people need petty cash for taxis to get away from or get to ride back from the studio. You got some spending cash on you.
Child of the 90s, I guess. Never lose that.
How much do you give?
I probably think Laura goes like, oh yeah, I have my emergency cash, and then pulls out like a little folding wallet and has like 100, a 50, and then like all denominations down to like $5 in ones. So I take out $2 and hand it to Samuel.
I was waiting to see if you're from
America
Seattle,
would come
right?
up,
So
but
you would have.
do have American money.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh.
we're Canadian.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Canadians have $2 coins and $1 coins called toonies and loonies because we're the best.
Tea.
So do you hand him a couple American ones?
Oh, very much so.
Cool. He like, thanks. I don't go down to the States that often, but it'll be a novelty.
You can frame them. No, you have to have
Yeah.
a place to like. Someone will take them. I know sometimes when you're like you can exchange it, right?
It'll be fine. It's the thought that counts. Thanks.
Okay.
and
Well,
sort of
thank
just-
you. As soon as I get some Canadian cash, I'll square up.
All right, let's go. And he starts the engine and slowly backs out of the parking lot, which you do see a few cars, but most of the folks here would just walked over from the town hall. And as he begins to drive, you see the main street has been plowed as much as it possibly can, given the circumstances. The sides have sort of piled up almost 3-4 feet high, just of that excess snow that's been pushed to the side. And he makes his way a couple streets down until he turns. Let me look at the map. He turns right. There we go. Because he is heading south toward the mountain. He turns right and almost immediately stops in front of a building and says, all right, this is Riley's place. So I believe that's Carl and Marie. This is your stop.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'll get
thanks.
out. Nate, you stay where you are. And kind of unbuckles and gets out and pulls the seat forward. I'll get your stuff as well. Goes to the back and starts grabbing stuff.
Is the hockey
Carl's-
game soon?
It's at. Are you going?
Yeah.
Oh,
I can put your stuff away, Mom.
Well, your party is later, right?
Yeah, and she's
Why
gonna
don't you
pick
two
me
get
up.
settled? I can drop the others
Tilly's.
off and I'll come back and get you.
No, it's fine. I got a ride.
All right. And he
Then I could use the fresh air. I think Carl takes the luggage out for their mom, and then we'll start trying to carry everything into the house. Is it just unlocked? Like, is there a key? Like, what's the situation here?
I think she left it unlocked.
Okay.
She's the sergeant after all. I don't think anyone's gonna or sheriff, sergeant, captain. I don't know. I don't think anyone's gonna mess with her.
Right.
And hops
Thanks,
in the.
Carl. and I'll just hug you at the door. And I reach into my purse, which I'm gonna keep with me, and I hand you your favorite granola bar. I don't know what food they have in there, so don't want you to starve.
Thanks.
Alright.
And Carl will give their mom a
As
hug
the jeep
as
rolls
well.
away, Riley's house is a single-story gray stone and cement house with a garage and stairs leading up to the main entrance. The driveway is currently cleared-ish, less cleared than the main street. And as you make your way up the steps, the door indeed is locked, or is unlocked. Inside is a very old-looking home. The entrance opens up into a living room to the right and a cavernous hallway to your front. Everything is earth tones and gray, heavily decorated with small gold baubles, ceramic trinkets, Buddhist figures, and framed pictures of family. In the living room to your right, there are two couches facing each other, with a coffee table in the middle and a fireplace with a large frame picture of a smiling couple posing with a small child. There's a small side table near the entrance of the door with a note sort of folded in a triangle that says Carl and Marie on it.
Carl puts some of the luggage down that they're holding and picks up the little letter.
It just says, sorry for the decor. My mom left it this way. There's food in the fridge, frozen prepared stuff in the freezer. If you could not go into my room, last door on the right, that would be great. And then at the bottom it says Riley.
Carl puts it down and then goes to the fridge and opens the fridge to see what the options are.
So I'll describe the house to you. I'm assuming that as you walk around, I'll just describe what it looks like.
Yeah.
The rest of the house is just as old. The kitchen consists mostly of wood paneling and well-worn appliances. There's sort of a small seating area with a large hanging rug on the wall. The fridge has the first thing you see in the fridge is a bunch of beer. Domestic beer just sort of piled in, filling almost like completely one shelf. There's also tons of condiments in the door, more the stuff that you would see at like a Asian grocery store, and then the rest of the food just sort of seems to be like stuff that like non-perishable fridge products. But yeah.
Is
the
there
freezer
milk?
Indeed. There is soy milk.
Oh.
Carl closes the door. And Carl's gonna go look to see what room options they have. They said not to go in their room, or not to go in Riley's room, which is the door on the right.
Yeah.
So
the hallway sort of leads down into the house, and then on the right was a entrance into the kitchen that sort of connects to the living room. But as you sort of explore, you find 3 bedrooms, one of which includes the door to Riley's room. The larger of the 2 bedrooms that you find is littered with small ornaments and decorations. The bed is high, white, and puffy, with several pillows. Side tables house lamps and more family pictures. The room immediately smells like dusty when you enter, and there's like a very thin layer of dust that's sort of settled on several of the surfaces. One of the other rooms is clearly used for storage. There's sort of a bed tucked in the corner with no sheets, and several plastic boxes stacked along the wall with various organization notes. There's two bathrooms, one of which is very neat and well appointed with like fancy over-the-counter creams and scents and sort of one of those potpourri bowls. And the other one looks more like a younger person uses it. There's sort of just like shelf bought deodorant and shampoo and stuff littering this one.
Carl will take the smaller room, just kind of puts their stuff in there and puts their mom's stuff in the other room. But you said the big main room seems like it's dusty.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have been used too recently.
As I pass by, because I'm assuming that the big room is like across from the other room, from her room, from Riley's room. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Do I hear or smell or like any weird senses from like the room that is Riley's room?
Without opening?
Yeah, without opening it. Carl's curious.
Give me a spot hidden.
Okay. Ooh, 97 out of 70.
No. The rest of the house smells very like kind of what you would imagine like an old grandmother's house to smell. That's sort of like similar perfume that every grandmother uses, and just like old settled house smell. So it kind of blocks anything coming from the door, and it seems quiet.
I was just going to touch the handle and see if the door is unlocked.
It is.
Gonna take a peek.
Yes. I would.
Primarily because apparently this person is the sheriff and then also part of some kind of coven. It's weird that she's hanging out with a bunch of young kids.
You
Carl's
open
curious.
the door. There are clothes flung everywhere. There is a twin bed that is not made, with sort of like dark blue heavy sheets. There's a closed laptop sort of sitting on the nearest corner of the bed to where you're standing. A lighter police jacket hangs on the handle of a dresser, sort of just on a clothes hanger, which has the shelves have a small TV and DVD player sort of resting on top of it. You are immediately hit with the lingering smell of stale weed.
The laptop on the edge of the bed, is it you said is it closed or is
Yeah,
it like
it's
slightly
closed.
open? Okay. Does it look like a work laptop?
No, it looks like a personal one. There's like stickers on the outside of it.
Okay. Carl will close the door and opens the granola bar and starts eating it, I guess, and is gonna start. Was the beer that was in the fridge, like, could it be carried? Like, is it like are they like combined, or is it just like single cans?
No, it's single cans, probably taken out of a larger box.
Okay. I guess Carl will start walking back to Tilly's.
All right. So as that is all happening, Samuel continues driving down the street a bit further, and you notice the roads sort of get a bit rougher, as the council had mentioned that the main street would be focused first. But it's still, it almost seems more like communally taken care of here than a actual, possibly a plow went through. And he eventually stops in front of a 2-story gray stone exterior house with gray walls and white stone base. There are wood accents for the supports and corners. There's a garage, but only one side of the driveway has been cleared. And there is a path through the snow sort of leading to the front door. And Samuel sort of stops there and says, all right, this is Nova and Oliver's place, which is for Laura and Nate. Do you want to just wait here, Marie, or go in with him? Or I'm good either way. I'll just drive you all back to the rink once you get settled.
We'll explore with you if you'll have me.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on in.
We're pretty far from the other house, it seems like.
Yeah. It was, for reference, it was like walking distance. It was further down the street than basically Riley's was almost right at the corner. Yeah, I mean, it'll be tough to walk in the snow, but I got nothing. I mean, yeah, I can ride.
I'm like a big polar bear. Don't worry about it. We'll be fine.
All right.
I'm gonna try and start squeezing myself out of this vehicle.
He gets out and sort of opens the seat as well and starts taking out other people's bags and whatnot.
I'll lead the way to the other house.
Yeah, I'll get basically as much of everybody's stuff as I can, and then head inside.
All right. The door also is unlocked. You sort of make your way through this sort of tiny path that's been made through the snow to the front door. And as you open it, you hear like the beep beep of like a alarm. There's alarm systems that when you open any exterior doors, it makes a beeping noise to let you know that one of the doors is opened. The interior is very spacious. There is an entrance foyer that grants access to a set of stairs leading up to the second story. Open walls to the left and right that reveal living room and dining room. And you see a woman in the living room with a bag that she's sort of packing, and she looks over, startled. She's a short woman, even compared to maybe not Marie, more Laura. Dark skin with very precise looking makeup. She has long hair made into a bun sort of to the back of her neck, and she's wearing a big poofy blue and gray vest over a thick cashmere turtleneck. And she was in the process of sort of like packing a away bag and looks over, smiles just brightly at you and says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just packing up. Thought I would be out by the time people arrived. Sorry."
Thank you for giving up your home for us to stay.
Oh, it's no problem. I'm staying with my sister. Oliver's staying with one of his friends. It's perfectly fine. You're all from out of town, so it's the least we could do.
Oh, well, it's so nice of you. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Let me just get everything packed up. You're welcome to any of the rooms. There's food in the fridge. We've got some cans in the garage, in case this thing gets a little bit, goes on a little bit too long. As I said, I'm staying with my sister. If there's anything you need,
Ma'am, I had a question.
Yeah?
Does the family happen to have any, like a landline, or maybe any devices that might be able to, let our jobs know that we're not going to be back?
We don't, unfortunately. And even as she's talking, looking around the room, the decorations of this place feel very modern and photo-worthy. There's clean white couch, blue throw pillows, rustic wooden surfaces. Nothing looks authentically unique, but more a copy-paste of something you'd see online. And there's a large TV mounted on the wall behind her. You, maybe not Nate, but the others get the impression that everything has recently been updated and is consistently updated. And she said, "Sorry, I've just got my cell phone. We haven't had a landline in a while. I know it's inconvenient."
But can you get cable here?
No, but we've got tons of DVDs. I think Oliver's gotten Walt to come by and set us up with network server or something for movies and shows. I got a bunch of stuff on there. I asked him for some of the good stuff and some of the trash too. But no cable. We usually get like streaming services during the summer when the internet works more consistently.
Yeah, are you an interior designer or something?
Oh,
this place is immaculate.
Thank you. No, I just have a lot of boards and follow a lot of influencers online, but that's so sweet.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
Thank
But
you.
only when the internet works, right?
Yeah, unfortunately. But I save a lot of stuff, and I go down to Edmonton a lot for shopping. But please look around. I could give you the tour if you wanted.
Does she
really
seem like
wants
she actually likes us being here?
to. Give me a psychology.
Oh,
You're not allowed to
this
make nice people, Kelly.
This
Everyone's
is the happiest.
sus.
This is the happiest this woman has ever been in her life. She
Yeah,
is so she is
okay.
pleased. She's pleased to have people in her house. She's pleased to show off her into her like decorating to new people. Like she wants to be helpful and just is so excited for everyone to be here.
All right.
How old did you say she was about?
She looks about late 30s.
Oh, so she's younger than us. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I can show you around, get you a little bit more acclimated before I head out.
Oh, please.
Yeah, I'd love that.
All right. Well, let me give you Nova's grand tour, and sort of begins walking through the living room, deeper into the house. The other rooms are very similar. The kitchen is immaculate with bars sort of installed along the wall to hang mugs and drying towels. There are wooden blocks with cutouts for mason jars of tea. There's metal stools along the side of a kitchen island where you can see all kinds of like slow drip infusion pour over bullshit. She sort of like, she grand opens this like stainless steel fridge, and you can see like kombucha and like fancy vegetables and like all of the things that you would find influencers have in their fridge. And she's like smiling and beaming as she's showing everything.
You like kombucha too?
Oh yeah, it's so good for you. And we've got all different flavors. You can have as much as you want. So
How do you
help
get it? I'm sure
yourself.
because like you don't have it probably at the local, mom and pop.
No, she kind of like leans in. She's like, I do a lot of trips out of town around the summertime. Once you see the garage, you'll get an idea. I've got a membership card to all the best places.
And I like you said there's like a pour over, there's like coffee stuff here too.
There's like a fancy tea kettle that's like transparent, with like a little filter down the middle of it. It seems like everything that could be Instagrammed is in this kitchen.
Laura's just clocking all these things, and it's kind of like kind of I don't know, usual suspects a little bit, just like looking around, like bam, 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 like okay, this is a little weird, but she's very nice.
I got that.
I think Nate is a little thrown off at how nice this place is, because he just like, it seems way nicer than I would have expected to be in this town. Like, I've not been impressed with the results of this town so far, and now I'm just like, dang. All right, okay.
I think she clocks it and gives you like a cheeky little like wiggle at how excited you look. And then
it's a beautiful home.
Well, thank you. I try to keep it nice, and continues on. She leads you to, you find 2 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms, all with similar styles, save for one. And she stops in front of the door and she says, now, Oliver is my roommate, and I did agree that he could have his little man cave. So I want to warn you, it's not great in here. And sort of looks at you, Nate, and he says, if you might be the best place for you if you like. I don't know how you like to keep things, but well, I'll show you. And she opens it, and you immediately get that like cheap cologne cigar man smell just emanating out of it, with a tinge of that like very familiar hockey sweat scent coming out of it. There is a large desk with a computer, protein powder, magazines, and lotions. A forest green waterbed sits on the far wall with a dark wooden frame. And there's a small wheeled cocktail table with all different types of whiskeys on it. and an open closet where you can just see like suits and jackets and pants and stuff just like haphazardly thrown in and hung and stuff. And she says, she's just like grimaces. Yeah, Oliver likes to keep it a certain manly way, I guess.
Mm.
Oh, that's a waterbed.
Yeah, you haven't seen those since early 2000s, eh?
No.
Yeah. I always found I
Yeah.
got kind of seasick on those. And after a certain age, I just didn't feel comfortable on them. I felt like I was going to fall in.
Yeah. Well, I can. If you don't like it, we definitely do have some blow up mattresses. I can find you something.
Oh no, you're fine. Thank you. This place is wonderful. We actually have to get going pretty soon though, because we have a hockey game. The big hockey game's happening.
Oh yeah, Oliver is going to be there. You can talk to him about his choice of sleeping arrangements. I was actually, my sister and I were thinking of maybe going, but the weather sort of limits fun little trips like that.
Sorry
Anyways,
for
let's
surprising you while you were still packing up.
No, it's my fault. I was just tidying up too much. Got lost in thought. Let's just close this. And then there's the garage entrance. My car is going to be in there. I'm just going to walk down to my sister's place. So I don't know if you need a car, but
Who is your sister?
She's I wrote it. One sec. Where is my? I gotta look at my.
But she knows who her sister is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Her name's Aurora. She just lives down the street from here. So if something happens, just shout and I'll probably hear it.
Sounds good.
So your family has like celestial names.
Yeah, my her dad had grand aspirations to see the stars. But
You ever make it?
oh no, I don't think a Hogan's ever left terra firma.
Well, you can reach it other ways.
When you say that, she looks at like to your eyes. I would kindly ask maybe if you want to have any extracurricular.
This is I haven't, and I pull out the bottle that the doctor gave me. I have drops. This is from Dust from Tilly's.
Oh, okay. Yes, that place is dreadfully old. Yes,
Yes,
of course.
so no, I won't be partaking in any extracurriculars.
Okay,
here.
thank you. I just like to keep it clean. Oliver does his neuropathic, I don't know, testosterone things, but nothing, street illegal would be just grand.
Yeah, I don't, I just like look at Nate and Marie, just like, I can't catch a break. And I'm like,
She got mold. It was mold in her eyes. It was a it was a very dusty room.
But it's not, I don't think it's contagious. Samuel said that they could scab over. So I
Mold's
got eye
not
drops
contagious.
now.
I also have a laundry machine you're free to use anytime if you'd like to change clothes as well.
Is mold contagious?
No, I think you just have to like breathe it in.
It does spread.
I'm gonna well, if you need anything else, let me know. It was amazing meeting you, and I'm so happy that I could accommodate your stay here, especially considering I doubt that you expected to stay so long.
Thank you. It is very kind of you.
Don't mention it. All right, you get settled. Go to your hockey game. I'll see you. And she sort of like grabs her wheelie bag and heads out the front door. You hear the tick of the door opening and closing.
Do people know that your eyes can get red from more than just drugs?
Yeah, there's crying. There's lack of sleep. Maybe something got in your eyes. There's a lot of different ways. Yeah,
Alcoholism.
that's true.
And I kind of get when Marie says that, can I just catch Marie's face for a second? Are you just saying it, or is there something behind that?
I don't
think
know. I think
Laura
she's
just
kind of making a
clocks.
joke.
Yeah,
but
Laura clocks that you said, and the only thing you said was alcoholism.
Yeah.
Really quickly, can I scan the room and just kind of like, I'm checking for mold at this point. Like, I want to like pop my eyes in the corners. Also kind of like Airbnbs. Laura's traveled a lot, seen the TikToks where people hide cameras and things, kind of doing like the hotel check a little bit.
Sure. Go ahead and roll a spot hidden.
It's a failure. 73 versus 45.
It's it's standard. Like, you mentioned Airbnb, and while this probably isn't being used as an Airbnb, it looks very like front facing. Everything is in an in place sort of Instagram worthy positioning. All the teas that you find are like literally like dried out herbs and like flavorings and stuff like that seem to be like specifically bought, and you sort of just get distracted by like all of the attention to detail to be influencer ready this house is, except for Oliver's room. And incidentally, in the garage, which does have a large metal shelf of different cans of like the ravioli and beans and peaches and stuff like that, also has a workout bench sort of relegated to the corner of the room, but it looks well worn and used. And the other empty spot next to Nova's sedan is sort of like a grease spot with cardboard just laying down under where another vehicle would have been.
Place is really nice.
Yeah. Like really, really nice. When we get back, I want to have another explore. You know, this is
Everything's so nice except for this. And I'm gonna move the cardboard that's on the floor.
It just seems to be there to lap up the oil spill from the other vehicle that would be parked here.
Seems like they've got a leaky car.
Have you never had a leaky car?
I don't know. I get them serviced quite frequently. I don't need to
but-
worry about that.
Well, like Andy's car, like truck, did it leak ever?
Oh, that thing leaked.
Maybe they spent
Yep.
all their money on the upgrades in this house and not on their car.
I will say the sedan is very nice. The other vehicle in the garage is, again, an Instagram-worthy sedan.
That's why it's so weird, though,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
me.
Well, I don't know. Is Oliver's roommate just has one room?
And the
Like-
whole rest of the house is into Nova's, aesthetic.
Yeah, I guess we'll meet Oliver at this game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This
I
place-
think. Well, I just think I think worrying about it right now is not really worth it. I think we should go to the game and see how the game goes. You know, try and have some fun, keep our eyes open, eat some guac, and then we can regroup afterwards. And maybe Carl would have learned something.
That's
Mhm.
true. This place seems big enough for like all of us to have stayed here, though. Like, we could have figured it out.
Hmm.
It is nice that they have an alarm, too.
I thought
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, with the little beep.
Shouldn't really tell you how to use it, though.
No, here, and I'm gonna go over to the panel. Can I figure it out, or is there like a note on it, like this is the code?
You open it, and there's a sticky note that has been taped with instructions on how to use it.
They thought of everything.
Wow. I mean, this feels like a real upgrade.
Honestly, I'll take this over. Well, unless I find a secret doorway in the bedroom tonight.
No
Ugh.
more exploring for you.
Yeah, let's just take a break and let's get out of here. I know what's his face is still. What is that guy's name?
Samuel.
Samuel's still in the car.
Also, don't like you and I talked, like maybe we shouldn't say as much, and you said a lot at the top of the stairs.
I got carried away. I got really carried away. Look, Samuel just struck me as somebody who's got some ulterior motives, if you know what I'm saying.
He knows something. I think we have to maybe slowly extract it out of them.
Slowly extract things out of everyone here, it seems.
Yeah.
You right? Well, first of all, Marie, Carl thinks we're all batshit, I think.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that a little bit. I told him that he needs to take some of my advice and we'll take some of his. So we're upping his paranoia a little and we're trying to lower our own.
I guess it balances out. But also, just everybody here seems like they don't answer questions.
Yeah.
I guess we just need to try and build relationships. I'd be cagey too if everyone was just suddenly asking me questions.
I guess
Yeah.
that's
What's the
true.
phrase? You catch more flies with honey than with vinegar? Maybe
Yeah.
we gotta try that.
I guess we could try it. Are my eyes that bad? I'm going to take the eye drops out before we leave, and I'm going to put some eye drops in my eyes.
Have
They
her
look
eyes improved at
fine.
all? Yeah, have they improved?
No, they are. In fact, they look worse.
No.
And as I
Really?
say they look fine, they don't.
Are they better?
Try pulling them down again. Let me see
Let's
if
look
the
for
black
the
stuff
black
came
stuff.
back.
Yeah.
It's all clear. Her eyes just look irritated.
Do they feel irritated?
They are pretty itchy, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to do this then because everybody keeps telling me I look like I'm high. So these will finally come in handy. Because this town is
Ooh.
so dreary anyway.
A real rock star now.
They're going to be like, who is she? And then they're going to say that's the weird one from the city.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's great. All right, let's get out of here.
Agreed.
And as you... Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying I'd throw my stuff down, take the guac and whatever else I need, and head out the door.
You're bringing it...
We're bringing the guac.
Bringing it with you.
Bring the guac,
Oh,
Kelly.
I got you.
it.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna eat the guac, Kelly.
I was so
Do
scared.
they have
that you're
chips?
I was
I
so
wanna
scared.
check-
Oh, yeah, look in the cupboard.
There's some really nice kettle chips, like
bring the
fancy
chips.
ones. Yeah.
We bring the chips for the guac.
I was so nervous. You're just carrying around this ceremonial guac bowl. And on that note, you head outside and you see Samuel sort of like leaning up against the side of his Jeep, waving as Nova heads out. And he says, well, it looks like I gotta head to the game. Good luck. And she's just started like trots down the sidewalk, sort of pushing through the snow. And you all get in the Jeep and head towards the hockey game. And for once, we're not gonna leave on a sad, scary, or depressing cliffhanger.
Yay.
As Carl heads towards Tilly's and y'all head towards the game, that's where we'll pick up next time.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Woohoo!
We survived another day. Woo! All right, and with that, we're gonna go record an after show. But before we could record the after show, we have some X's and O's. First and foremost, we would like to thank our sponsor. Thank you, Roll20, for sponsoring today's episode. We super duper appreciate it. If you're curious how we've been doing our rolls and all that madness, it's all through Roll20, which is super handy. Today, Katie learned that there is an option to have your character sheets always pop out or to not. So the more you know. And of course, there are all kinds of other cool things that you can do on Roll20, which you've probably seen through some of our other shows, or maybe you haven't. But there are a lot of options, even making custom character sheets. There are also some merch pieces up. You can head on to designbyhumans.com/shop/roll4it and get yourself a cozy sweater and maybe a mug so that you can enjoy this fall season. We are discussing maybe a chip cult shirt. So let us know if you would purchase a chip cult shirt because we all kind of want
that.
one. So let us know if you think we should make one. Maybe I'll find some time and design one. Beyond that, we'd like to thank our supporter, Jackson Decay. Thank you, Jackson, for supporting today's episode. We super duper appreciate it. And if you would like to become a supporter like Jackson, you can head on over to our Patreon and become a legend tier or above. And that not only lets you support an episode, but it also gets you access to a private GM'd game. And this month, I'm GMing something that will affect our live game in October. And that is going to be fun. We've got a buddy. Hi, buddy.
He
Like,
just really
"I'm
seems to have something to
hungry."
say, but now he's super quiet.
Because you put me on the spot and I'm nervous. Oh my god.
Exactly.
The way you turned away as you said that made it seem like that was actually how you felt.
I was like, I'm shy. We also have character sheets up, and maybe we'll put our new ones up there soon. And maybe we can get Kelly to give us the map and some relationship map action. We'll see. You can also support us by subscribing to us right here on Twitch. And if you watch live, making clips. So thank you all so much for the clips. We appreciate all the clips. And becoming a YouTube member over on YouTube, which gives you access to some of the emotes as well. And whether you're a YouTube member, Twitch subscriber, or Patreon supporter, you can head on over to our Discord and chat with us. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of discussion and things. Are you as sus as everybody else? What are you thinking? What's your thoughts? What's your theories? Do you think
Sounds
Nova
fine
is
to
actually
me.
just a nice person, or does she have ulterior motives? Is Tilly really lying instead of crying? Who knows? Let us know your thoughts. And of course, there's lots of non-monetary ways to support us. We know that not everyone can support in a monetary way. Just watching us live here on Twitch helps, making clips, watching on YouTube, subscribing, liking, commenting, following us on X, Twitter, aka Twitter, Facebook, liking, commenting, sharing, retweeting, all those things all help us. And with that, I'm going to let these wonderful people say where you can find them at, because not only do they play phenomenal characters here on Roll4It, they also do amazing other things in other spaces. So today we're going to kick it off first with Shar. Where can people find you at when you are not having quiet moments to yourself?
Crying.
Crying.
Folks can find me all over social media at Charlene Bayer. Otherwise, you can find me on Tuesdays and Thursdays at Tabletop Titties with double D's, where I GM our D&D show and I play in our Vampire the Masquerade show. And in October, you should all follow Tabletop Titties if you haven't already, because in October, everyone on this call right now is going to be participating in a charity event that takes place October 13th to 15th to raise some money for some good causes. So please head on over there and give us a follow and donate if you can.
Char's just like, I really want to play with you all again. So I have a message. How about next up we have Nate, played by the one and only Jeremy Cobb. Where can people find you at when you are not trying to just be there for your friends and always ready with the guac?
You can find me on several different places. I'm on the show Three Black Halflings, TTRPG and nerd stuff podcast. You can find that wherever pods are cast. I'm also on the podcast The Quantum Reactor. I'm going to be guesting on the DM block, Dungeon Masters block, which is a show about Dungeons and Dragons. Another podcast, a lot of podcasts, and also that I stream 3 times a week on Twitch, and I'm going to be adding more dates probably soon. But on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, I stream all sorts of different games. Right now, it's been Fallout New Vegas, Deus Ex Human Revolution, and Baldur's Gate 3. And I'm going to be running a game for D3 at Sea. So look, if you got some time, the end of October, beginning of November, come play on a ship, a cruise ship with me, some D&D. And I'm also going to be running a Paradox Perfect one shot for any of you who are Three Black Halflings fans and have seen any of our Paradox Perfect shows that we've done on there. So really fun time travel TTRPG. It's going to be a blast. So yeah, come play with me or check me out on all those different places. And you can find me on Twitter at JeremyCobb1. That's Cobb with 2 B's and the number 1. Bam!
Perfect. You did it. Did the thing. And next we've got Play Kitty Play, who plays Laura. I'm wondering, what are you up to when you're totally not doing drugs?
Listen, it's just a little mold. That was I almost said a hangover. A cliffhanger.
Is that what the kids say now? They're like, it was just mold in my eye.
It's just mold in my eye. I guess that is the cliffhanger this week, is see if Laura loses her eyes at some point. I played Laura for y'all today. I'm Katie Peters Plays. Find me on Twitch at katiepetersplays.tv. All my social media links are over there. So if you're looking for one of them, I'm probably on it, and they're all located in a nice little area in my panels. I have 2 podcasts. Katie hasn't seen that, and Quantum Drive. Also, links for those are over on my my page. What else do I do? On Fridays, I'm on an alien tabletop show called Duacroma Outlook. We're getting close to the end of the season, and it's really good. So if you need something for spooky season, go watch that. And that's on the Wandering Inn. And I have other tabletop things up in the future that haven't been fully announced yet. But now I can say the one for Tabletop Titties. So yeah, come check out all of us next month. And I've been playing a lot of spooky games. I'm going to be playing more Baldur's Gate, obviously, because I'm obsessed with it. But I'm going to be playing the new Resident Evil DLC that called Separate Ways that is coming out tomorrow. So I'm today.
Today.
Today. So that's me. I think I probably forgot things, but that's okay.
It's okay. There's always another time, today. Another space. And next and last but not least, we have our keeper, game master, the one and only, the Mind Right. Where can people find you at when you are not really horrifying us today? It was peaceful, friend. You gave us a friendly person.
Yeah. It's always a good thing when you meet a nice person in a horror game. You can let down all your guards and just
No, they're super sus. The behind the scenes was just like that.
My name is Kelly. As you said, my pronouns are they, them. And guess what? I did a good big brain thing this time. I made a link tree because I suck at organizing everything. So if you go to linkter.e/the mind right, it's got all my things on that one. It's got my mastodons, my co-hosts, my blue skies, my Twitters, my Twitches, all the ones. Speaking of Twitch, I'm also on Tabletop Titties. I'm the storyteller for Titties by Night, which is our Victorian Vampire the Masquerade investigation show, which is completely on the rails, has never once gotten off the rails, and is totally still on the rails right now. You can also check out Drinking and Screaming, which is the queer and feminist horror movie podcast that me and my love Shar host together, and get some cool insight on horror movies and cocktails. That's about it. Check out my linkter.
Yeah. Buddy agrees. Buddy's like, go follow.
Yeah, Buddy needs food.
Go follow them.
He hasn't been fed in 10 years.
AKA 10 minutes. No.
Yeah.
And I'm Margaret Crone. You can find me at Margaret Crone in all of the places. I just hit my glasses. And I do lots of things on the internet. If you want to see those things, just follow me. And I make games and video games for a living, which you can check out the current project that I'm working on, which is called Ashes of Creation, at all the places at Ashes of Creation. And with that, we're going to go record an after show. So we will see you all later. Hopefully next week you're prepared for whatever is in store for us. Bye. Hold on, I gotta get the edit. All right, we're good.